Hokage give me a face. Chapter 461-480. Chapter 461-Chase. Gaara died, and his body was not carried by Deidara like in the original book. Because of what Nagato and the ghost shark had said before, Deidara said that he was not afraid, but he was still a little cowardly in his heart. Running away with the corpse would cause too much hatred for Ra. He admitted that, so he left Gaara's corpse in the cave, and he controlled the clay bird to escape at the fastest speed. Marina is characterized by Chakrado, strong medical ninjutsu, and strong chakra-enhanced strength, but her speed is too slow, and her pursuit is in vain, so she stayed where she was. She came to the cave with Chiyo mother-in-law and Sakura and found Gaara's body. I have been dead for 3 minutes, no external injuries, no internal injuries, and my life force is exhausted. Marina sighed softly. Even she couldn't do anything in this situation. She shook her head, her face full of regret. The 3 present were all ninjas who were good at medical treatment. Of course they understood Marina's words. Sakura pursed her lips slightly, but she didn't expect that the dignified 5th-generation Kazekage would die like that. Chiyo's mother-in-law looked at me 30-eye Luo silently. She recalled the past, recalled the death of her son and daughter-in-law, and recalled the Sasori. Gaara, she murmured softly, a ray of light flashed in her chaotic eyes. Don't worry, I will save you. Granny Chiyo finally decided to use her reincarnation to revive Gaara. On the other side, Naruto chased Deidara frantically in futon wind-style mode. His speed was so fast that it was even faster than the flying speed of a clay bird. Cut, nasty brat. Deidara bit Kiba tightly, shoved her hands into Kabuto and kept taking the clay, and after a while, dozens of small spiders appeared, swarming towards Naruto. Boom, boom, boom. The violent explosion ignited the sky, and Naruto grunted and was blasted back a few hundred meters. There was a trace of blood on the corner of his mouth. The power of the clay spider was too great, even with futon wind-style armor to protect his body and internal organs. Shocked by the shock wave from the explosion. Naruto, wait. Naruto was blasted back, and Kakashi finally caught up. He helped Naruto, but before he could react, Ellie skipped his side with a swish, and rushed forward. Hey, Ellie, don't be impulsive. What the hell? Kakashi is about to collapse. Why are his team all impulsive guys? Marina and Naruto are like this. You have become like this. Do you know that the other party is 2 cage-level powerhouses? If something happens to you, how can I explain to Lord Zan? Thinking of Yi Zan, Kakashi felt chills all over. He immediately left Naruto and rushed out. He had to protect Ellie. He knew that if Ellie had any flaws, Lord Zan would definitely kill him. Ellie's speed was too fast, silent, like a ghost. She didn't pay attention to Kakashi's call at all, but increased her speed again, and there was a trace of electric light under her feet. Che, the little devils are really powerful now. Deidara pouted speechlessly on the clay bird, took out clay from Kabuto again and made more than a dozen little spiders. Seeing that Ellie was about to catch up, he let go. Threw all the small spiders down. Seeing that the little spider was about to land on top of Ellie's head, Ellie suddenly took out a scroll from the ninja luggage behind her. Boom. With a soft sound, Ellie actually took a sword from the scroll. The smooth body of the sword reflects the sunlight faintly. This is a 1.7 meter long super long sword. If you look closely, you can find that this sword is a bit similar to the grass pheasant sword. Zzz. The dazzling thunder light lit up, instantly eroding the spider on top of the head. Lektu, the clay spider eroded by the thunder, lost the ability to explode. Swish. Ellie jumped up suddenly, stepped on a log in midair and jumped higher. Her face did not have much expression. She was calm, as if it was just an ordinary battle practice. Raiden, thunder style. Thunder blade. Ellie said softly. The long sword in her hand burst out with dazzling thunder. Deidara's face changed slightly. You must know that all his abilities are in clay, and in close combat, he is not even as good as Jonin. Seeing that the discharging long sword was about to stab him, Didera took a few big steps back and jumped directly from the clay bird. Huh. Ellie didn't expect Didera to jump down at all. Her dangling strength had been exhausted, and she fell into the air with a single blow, so she could only follow Didera and fall towards the ground. Huh, what a fierce little girl, looking at your cute appearance. I didn't expect that the attack method would be so tricky that you will attack once, and will not let you attack the second time. Didera preached in a senior-like tone, but the next second, his face changed drastically, and the breath of death burst out from behind him. Reikiri. The dazzling thunder burst. Kakashi did not know when he had come behind Didera. At this moment, Didera had just landed, and the center was unstable, and he could not avoid Kakashi's attack. Fix 1. No, it's me too. Snapped. A light sound, Kakashi's wrist was firmly grasped, his face instantly sank, and he burst out with chakra with all his strength, gathered the thunder attribute on his feet, and kicked away suddenly. Huh. The toes passed through Afei's body, kicked in the air like a 390 Buddha. Kakashi's pupils shrank, he quickly stepped back 10 steps, and gathered with Ellie. Was a brief pause in the battle. Kakashi stared at Afei suspiciously. He swore that the kick just now would definitely hit the opponent, but it seemed that it was only kicking in the air, and there was no contact at all. At this moment, Naruto also rushed over from behind, and the clay bird fluttered down to Didera's side. Seeing this posture, it was difficult for Didera to continue to take off. Yo, I was caught by you guys tilde. Didera chuckled, with a little disapproval on his face, even if he stopped himself. So far, all the skills he has used are little spiders, and he has never used his trump cards. Didera has C4 Garuda and C0 self-destruction to rely on, and is not afraid of desperate. And here, Ellie turned her right hand and raised her arm directly. Naruto and I are elite Jonin. Kakashi's strength is almost the same, and the opponent is 2 cage-level powerhouses, especially the guy with the spiral mask. The ability to blur is almost impossible. There is no chance of winning. Quote. Thinking of this, Ellie finally aimed her right hand at Didera, and then a terrifying chakra wave burst out from her arm. Dad said that only idiots do useless work. I'm not an idiot, so I can only use ninja tools to solve you tilde. Chapter 462-Carefree Truth Chennai. The sunset in the west is gradually setting, the purple haze is dim, a gust of wind blows, and the endless grassland swaying slightly, as if saying goodbye. More than 100 sand ninjas came from afar, surrounded Gaara, and everyone had a sincere smile on their faces. Chiyo's mother-in-law died. She rescued Gaara and dedicated her life. Marina and Ellie held hands and silently watched Chiyo's mother-in-law's dead face, surrounded by a little sadness. The previous battle ended after Ellie used the ninja tool. A series of S-rank ninjutsu was not something Didera could resist. Afei, also known as Uchiha Obito, took Didera into Kamui space when the army was ready to attack and escaped. Gaara was surrounded by ninjas and returned to Cheyenne village, and the Kakashi team was thanked by the whole village. For Chiyo's mother-in-law who saved Gaara with her own life, the village held a grand funeral for her. Aware of Chiyo's mother-in-law's selfless dedication, Marina and Ellie forced the entire team to stay and attend the funeral to show respect for Chiyo's mother-in-law. A few days later, the Kakashi team returned to the village, and Marina and Ellie immediately left the team and rushed home excitedly. Dad! Bang! Genai shouted excitedly, but did not get Yizan's response. She blinked her eyes stupidly, and immediately rushed to the second floor, only to find that Conan was at home. Sister Conan, where's Dad? He seems to have been found by Ino these days to play. Maybe they can be found in a high-end coffee shop in the commercial street. Conan said softly. The paper in his hand had been folded into a flower. Ino, damn it, Ino is taking advantage of it. Ellie, go, let's go find Daddy. Marina hurriedly pulled Ellie and ran outside. With the loud bang of the door downstairs, Conan was the only one left at home. Hey, these guys, can't you just have a peaceful day? Conan shook his head, put down the paper, and took out a book with a pink yuhi-colored cover from the table. It's been a long time since I read Hell and Heaven, and I think about it occasionally. Still very good, Tilda. Conan stayed at home quietly and read books. Here, Marina has already taken Ellie to the commercial street. After years of development, the Konoha commercial street has expanded several times. There are high-rise buildings and Rin's dazzling things everywhere, bustling. The flow of people is a bit crowded, and it is not easy to find people in such a place. However, Marina has her own way. She looked up at the huge screen on the outer wall of the metropolis. At this moment, the screen was broadcasting a live broadcast of the financial column. Marina took Ellie and continued to move forward. On the 5th floor, I came to a relatively spacious store on the 5th floor. It was a company rather than a store, and the words, Konoha News Live TV, were written on the door, and she pulled Ellie and walked in. Hey, girl, you can't enter here. It's working time, please don't interfere. Hey. A staff member wanted to stop Marina, but Marina pushed him away. She and Ellie wandered around the company for a while, and finally found a closed door. It's here. Hey, don't mess around. Boom. There was a loud bang, and the door shattered. At the same time, the huge screens on the 4 walls of the metropolis also made a violent shattering sound. The huge sound attracted the attention of thousands of people on the street. They looked up at the screen and found the live broadcast. The screenshot was aimed at a girl. Dad, I'm on the 5th floor of the metropolis, and you are allowed to arrive within 1 minute. Otherwise, don't blame me for ignoring you for a month. Marina's unique voice was transmitted high and far through the live screen. Yizan, who was drinking coffee on the 3rd floor of Building C, Block Silver, 500 meters away, spat out the coffee with a pop, and covered his forehead helplessly. Brother Zan. Sorry, Ino, I have to go, wait for me here, and be back in a while. After Yizan finished speaking, he disappeared instantly, and Marina, who was talking to the camera, felt a gust of wind beside her, and as soon as she turned her head, her cheeks were pinched by 2 big hands. Close it for me, Yizan ordered, and the staff next to him immediately turned off the power supply. In an instant, the screen on the outer wall of the metropolis went black. Yizan ignored the people who were talking about the commercial street, and just held the truth. Cheeks, pulling gently, pulling her cheeks high. Hate, stinky dad, let me go. Her cheeks were pulled, and Marina couldn't speak clearly. She opened her mouth to bite Yizan's hand, but she couldn't. Little idiot, to come to me in this way and forcibly break into someone else's company, do you have any merit? Bah, you big bastard, you also said that I have no public morality. You are actually dating Ino while I and Ellie are away. Sheena stepped on Yizan's shoes, causing Yizan to let go of his hand subconsciously. At the same time, instead of retreating, she advanced, and threw herself into Yizan's arms, clasping her neck with both hands, and tucked her feet, hanging on Yizan like a koala. Bad dad. Idiot daughter. Date Ino. It was Ino who asked me out, and she just asked me some questions about cultivation. Little idiot, where did you think of going? Yizan kissed Junai on the forehead funny. Junai pouted in dissatisfaction. Yizan looked left and right, and found that after all the staff were gone, he lowered his head and quickly pecked Junai on the lips. Okay, are you satisfied now? Humph, I'm satisfied, but there's Ellie. Marina turned her head to look, but Ellie shook her head shyly. Although she also wanted to kiss Yizan, it was always outside. In contrast, she preferred to sleep with Yizan alone and play kisses while sleeping. Dear. All right, you two, let's go, Ino is still waiting for me at the cafe. Amusingly, holding Marina in his left hand and Ellie's hand in his right. After an unknown time, several staff members finally entered the room. They looked at each other and sighed in frustration. As media workers, they are well informed and recognized Yizan at a glance, and because they recognized Yizan, they had no way to go to the Hokage office to file a complaint. They could only conceal today's accident and burden the people who interrupted the live broadcast. Losses and consequences. Unfortunate. Chapter 463 Orochimaru Reincarnation _ There was slow music playing in the low-key and luxurious high-end cafe, and Marina put her arms around her, pouting with dissatisfaction. The coffee on the table was cold, but Marina didn't drink a single sip. She stared fiercely at the opposite of the table, the mature and beautiful Ino. Ino, why did you seduce my dad? Yo hoo hoo hoo, Marina, who seduced your father? I just asked Brother Zahn to come out for tea and snacks. A careful woman is not cute at all, Tilda. Ino shook his finger, deliberately the corners of his mouth twitched in disdain. Damn Ino, you say I'm not cute. Dad, am I cute? Cute, my baby is of course cute, it's the cutest girl in the world. Yizan poked Marina's forehead in a funny way, and Marina laughed happily. In her heart, as long as Yizan said she was cute, other people's words would be ignored. Can be regarded as floating clouds. Cut. Seeing Marina's happy look, Ino pouted. As a young and lively girl, she will not lose to Marina. Thinking of this, Ino simply got up and ran in front of Yizan, opened his hands, and hugged Yizan's neck. Brother Zahn, I like you. Ino's sudden and bold confession made Yizan and Marina stunned. Yizan was stunned for a while and then reacted. After all, Ino was also a passionate and bold girl in the original novel. Ino, you're too much. Let go of my dad. Marina puffed up angrily and pulled Ino's hand away, but Ino hugged her tightly, and she couldn't pull Ino away no matter what. Marina and Ino directly used Yizan's body as a battlefield, and fought directly, while Yizan was hugged by Ino's neck, and when Marina pulled, his neck suffered. Ouch, it hurts. Marina, don't pull it. Dad, please bear with me, I must pull this stinky woman down today. The chaotic and turbulent battle was in full swing. Next to it, Ellie was silently digging out the ice cream with a spoon. If you observe carefully, you can see that her left hand is quietly grabbing Yizan's right hand, silently. Konoha is still peaceful, but the ninja world is in a bloody storm. Akatsuki is dispatched together, and the powerful strength is unstoppable. 4 tails, 5 tails, 6 tails, and 7 tails were all captured by Akatsuki in just 1 month. This also includes the time when the magic 9 dragons were sealed, and the power of Akatsuki, who had been hidden for many years, suddenly burst out, making the entire ninja world shock. In a hidden underground base somewhere in Tianjiguo, Orochimaru coughed a few times, his momentum a little weak. Orochimaru just happened to miss the turnaround time, and when Sasuke arrived at Otonin village, Orochimaru had already changed his body. Lord Orochimaru, how is your body? Yakushi Kabuto bowed his head respectfully, a flash of white light flashing on the lens. He, Kabuto, you don't need to test me. Although this body is starting to collapse, it's not a problem to kill you with one move. Orochimaru said coldly. The hoarse voice made Kabuto stand upside down, and his heart contracted tightly. A group. Sorry, Orochimaru-sama, my subordinates only care about your body, nothing else. He, don't worry Kabuto, don't be afraid, I'm just talking and playing, don't take it seriously. Orochimaru licked the corner of his mouth, his long tongue extremely disgusting. How is Sasuke Uchiha doing recently? It's fairly stable, but he's progressed too fast in the past 3 years, growing almost every day. If you let him go on like this, don't worry, he has no chance to continue to grow. Go straight to the reincarnation ceremony. Direct. Kabuto was stunned for a moment, and immediately showed a happy expression. No problem. Everything for the ceremony has already been prepared and can be carried out at any time. In the dim underground base, the room was lit by candlelight, and Sasuke sat motionless on the bunk, as if waiting for something. Crunch. The door opened, Sasuke opened his eyes, and Yuhi's 3 Tomo Sharingan slowly rotated. Sasuke, Orochimaru-sama, please come over. Kabuto said with a smile, the corners of his mouth slightly raised with a hint of evil. Oh, What is Orochimaru doing to me again? It should be a matter of practice. Master Orochimaru thinks that your progress in the past 3 years is still too slow, compared to Itachi. Boom. The manic murderous aura erupted, and Yuhi's Sharingan stared at Kabuto. I remember I said no less than 3 times, don't mention that man in front of me. Ha ha. Facing Sasuke's murderous intent, Kabuto just smiled. In his heart, this person will soon disappear, and he can't make a dispute. He doesn't want an accident at the last minute. Kabuto flinched, and Sasuke couldn't continue to say anything. After all, he was in Orochimaru's lair, and he was always relying on others. Kabuto, this is the last time to warn you, don't provoke me, next time. Sasuke gave Kabuto a cold look, got up, and instantly appeared behind Kabuto, the cold grass pheasant sword resting steadily on Kabuto's neck. Next time, don't even think about living. Leaving the room, Sasuke walked silently in the dark corridor. The oil lamps on both sides of the corridor flickered with dim light. He gently held the hilt of the grass pheasant sword with a mocking smile on the corner of his mouth. Anything with me, humph. Can't wait. That's fine. Thinking of this, Sasuke's pace has sped up a little. 3 years of hell-style cultivation have made his strength undergo earth-shaking changes. In the past 3 years, he has been in the crisis of death almost all the time, and the crisis of honing his strength. From Orochimaru the crisis, let him grow from Chunin step by step to a quasi-cage level powerhouse. Soon, Sasuke came to Orochimaru's room. As soon as he stepped in, a seal suddenly appeared on the door behind him, sealing the entire room. Hey, Sasuke, you're here. Orochimaru stood up slowly on the chair, he smiled hoarsely, and his yellow-brown pupils burst into a strong desire. Seal the gate. Orochimaru, do you think I'll run away from you? If I can't beat you, how can I seek revenge from Itachi? Swish. The sharp grass pheasant sword burst into dazzling thunder. Sasuke stared at Orochimaru blankly, and the quasi-cage level chakra burst out. Chapter 464-High Slope. Hey, boring. The bright sun was very warm, and on a high-slope lawn in Konoha, Marina was rolling around boredly while lying on the lawn. If you zoom out a little further, you can see Yizan lying motionless on the lawn, with Ellie and Hinata lying on the other side. Goo much. The rolling truth collided with Yizan. Not only did she not leave, but she continued to roll around and fell directly on Yizan. Hey, Dad. Yizan squinted his eyes, and his nose responded softly. On such a sunny day, one should sleep with the spring breeze. This kind of green grass and unmanned high slope is simply a tailor-made sleeping place for Yizan. Dad, don't sleep. Can you play with us? Marina held Yizan's head and shook it. Yizan still closed his eyes and pretended to be asleep. HMPH. Smelly Dad. Marina pouted slightly. Her fingers kept pinching Yizan's cheeks. Her eyes rolled around a few times, and when she found that Aili and Hinata were also closing her eyes, she quietly lowered her head. Zan kissed on the mouth. Snapped. Oops. With a soft cry, Marina covered her ass with a face full of Yuhi. Stinky Dad, why are you hitting me? I just want to fight, aren't you convinced? Yizan chuckled and opened his eyes. This girl has become more and more courageous recently, and dares to kiss herself secretly. I'm not convinced. I want to return it. Marina didn't care. She threw herself into Yizan's arms and opened her mouth fiercely. Oops. Don't bite your shoulders. It hurts. Woo woo. My daughter, I was wrong, let go. A while, Marina sat on the lawn with the pride of a winner in her eyes. All right, let me sleep alone tonight. Well, when did Dad lie to you? You little idiot. Yizan raised his finger and poked lightly at the forehead of Genai, who cheered happily and hugged Yizan's arm, put his head on his arm. Don't lie to me. Dad is mine tonight. Even Ellie is not allowed to come. I'll accompany you today, Lien Aili. Before Yizan finished speaking, he was shocked by Ellie's resentful eyes. He scratched his head in embarrassment, and finally sighed softly. All right, my darling Ellie, I'll be with you tomorrow, all day." Yizan's words finally dissipated the resentment in Ellie's eyes. She hugged Yizan's other arm pretty and rubbed her cheek like a kitten. Then, Yizan sensed another look. Quote. "So, Hinata, do you want me to accompany you too?" No, Hinata's face was full of yuhi, and the 3 years of getting along did not make her let go. She was still shy, especially when facing Yizan. She would be shy with just a few words of teasing. Fainted. At this moment, Hinata was about to faint, and she began to imagine the image of Yizan sleeping alone with her, and when she thought about it, she felt a whirlwind, and fell on the lawn with a bah. Quote. Yizan silently covered his forehead. Hinata's shy personality can't be changed at all. Although ordinary communication is no problem, when it comes to love or suggestive words, Hinata will fill in the picture. Then fainted out of shyness. But then again, what did Hinata say last time he fainted? Dad, have you forgotten? The last time Hinata fainted, I asked you to kiss her, but before you went, Hinata fainted. Marina said with a smile, before laughing. In a second, Yizan poked his forehead again. Little idiot, what a shame. Hinata is shy, don't bully her for a day, okay? What, you actually taught her daughter a lesson because of Hinata? Dad, you are horny. I'm already lustful, and I refuse to bite me. I'm sorry baby, I'm joking. Let go. After fighting with Marina for more than 10 minutes, Hinata woke up slowly, her face yuhi bowed, still shy about what happened just now. A few people played on the high slope with faint green grass all morning, and then Yizan walked towards the commercial street with a few girls. A few days ago, Jiro Ono, the world's top sushi master from the Land of Thunder, moved to Konoha. He is known as the god of sushi. He is in the new shop on Commercial E Street. Let's try it and see how delicious is the sushi made by the sushi god. Quote. Holding Marina in the left hand and Ellie in the right, Hinata followed with small steps like a little secretary. When Yizan mentioned sushi, Marina and Ellie drooled at the same time. However, at this moment, a shadow with a cat face mask appeared beside Yizan. Yizan was stunned for a moment, and asked suspiciously, "Shisui, is there anything you want to do with me?" It's Master Zan. The spies stationed in Yinyan village sent back information that Sasuke Uchiha killed Orochimaru and has now left the village. Oh. Yizan nodded and continued to walk forward with his 2 daughters. Hinata in the back looked at Uchiha Shisui suspiciously. She vaguely felt that this Anbu was different from the Anbu she usually saw. Yizan left. Shisui was stunned. He stood there stupidly for a few seconds before finally reacting. That. Master Zan, about Uchiha Sasuke. Don't disturb me, wait for me to finish lunch, take a nap, and then deal with it when I'm comfortable. It's so boring to find me in such a hurry for such trivial matters. Yizan raised his hand and took the 3 girls away. Shisui smiled helplessly. Sasuke's killing of Orochimaru was a shock to the ninja world, but in the eyes of Lord Zan, even eating and sleeping is better than eating and sleeping. Sasuke killed Orochimaru, and no one tried to hide it. Konoha got the news in advance because of the spy, and as time goes by, within a month, the whole ninja world will know the news. Thinking of this, Shisui's face suddenly became solemn. The news that Sasuke killed Orochimaru surprised him, and what he was more worried about was his friend, Uchiha Itachi. Sasuke kills Orochimaru, the next target is you, Itachi, don't die. Chapter 465-Eat Up. The light rain was falling, as if it would never end, the sky was dark, and the road in the distance could not be seen hazy. Sasuke walked silently on the road, beside him, followed by 2 young people about the same age. Hey, I said Sasuke, when are you going to accompany me to Konoha to get a knife? A beheading sword. I've wanted it for years. With jagged kiba teeth and a cynical look on his young face, this man, it is Sasuke's new teammate, Ghost Light Shueyu. Shueyu, Our primary goal now is to help Sasuke get revenge. The dull voice indicated the boredom of the speaker. He had orange hair and a strong body that looked extremely powerful. It's not to avenge me. If you find Uchiha Itachi, you are absolutely not allowed to shoot, but if someone else blocks my duel with Uchiha Itachi, you help me resist. Remember, you are absolutely not allowed to shoot in my duel with Uchiha Itachi. Sasuke's face was indifferent, his eyes burst into a strong momentum, recalling the battle with Orochimaru a few days ago, with a disdainful smile on the corner of his mouth. Sasuke lost. Yes, he actually lost the battle with Orochimaru. The gap between quasi-cage level and cage level is too big, and Orochimaru is a veteran cage level master. No matter how hard Sasuke works in the past 3 years, he can't be Orochimaru's opponent. You must know that Orochimaru did not implement the Konoha collapse plan. Although his strength was reduced due to the replacement of his body, cage level is always cage level. Sasuke is not Orochimaru's opponent at all. However, when Orochimaru bound Sasuke with tens of thousands of snakes and invaded Sasuke's sea of consciousness in an attempt to take over Sasuke's body. It's ridiculous that a guy with a broken soul wants to destroy my consciousness. Sasuke curled his lips in disdain, despising Orochimaru sincerely. Sharingan known for his pupil skills, the Uchiha family's soul power is much stronger than ordinary people, not to mention a broken soul like Orochimaru, even a complete soul, it is difficult to destroy their own consciousness. This is Orochimaru's miscalculation, or in other words, Orochimaru has very little research on the soul. He naively thought that everything could be decided by ninjutsu, but he didn't expect that he eventually lost to the soul. But to be honest, Sasuke, I don't think the three of us are capable of taking knives from Konoha, although I've only heard of it, but there are too many strong men in Konoha to sneak into Konoha rashly. Chongo, what I promised will be done naturally. Although there are many strong men in Konoha, Konoha is also very big. Kurigakure's ninja swords are stored in the arsenal. As long as we are not discovered by Shimura-san, it is not difficult to steal them. Quote. Isn't it discovered by Shimura? I've heard more or less about Shimura's deeds over the years. Sasuke, you grew up in Konoha, can you tell me about Shimura's situation? Is he really strong? It's very strong. As for how strong, I haven't seen him shoot, but I can tell you that in the Chunin exam 3 years ago, Shimura-san's daughter used a new type of ninja tool to beat Orochimaru back. New ninja gear. Well, there are more than a dozen ninjutsu loaded in the ninja gear, and each ninjutsu is S rank. Hiss. Sasuke's words made Shigego and Gaidon Suzuki take a deep breath. More than a dozen S rank ninjutsu, you know, their strongest ninjutsu is only a rank. Not only them, but Sasuke still clearly remembers the original scene of the Forest of Death. He practiced frantically for 3 years before entering the quasi-shadow stage, and with his own talent, he developed an S-rank Raiden Thunder-style ninjutsu. S-rank ninjutsu he developed also needs to rely on the weather to perform, but 3 years ago, Marina was able to use more than a dozen S-rank ninjutsu with her ninja tools. Damn it, if I had that ninja tool too. Sasuke bit Kiba tightly, not jealous as fake, he is not demanding, as long as he gives him 3 S-rank ninjutsu, he can kill Itachi to complete his revenge. Sasuke started the road of revenge with his 2 friends, and on Konoha's side, Yizan walked on the street contentedly, and Hinata and Ellie also looked satisfied. Ah, Dad, please help me, I'm going to die. The voice that Marina was about to die sounded from behind. Yizan sighed silently, turned and rubbed Marina's hair. Idiot, you have to eat in moderation. How can you eat like you? I really want to eat like a pig. Humph, why do you blame me? If you want to blame Jiro Ono's sushi for making it so delicious. Ouch, ouch, it's killing me. Dad, I can't walk. Marinai clutched her bulging stomach with an uncomfortable expression. She was originally enjoying world-class food, but this idiot didn't listen to her advice and insisted on eating hard. I really can't stand you. Seeing the pitiful appearance of the truth, Yizan finally opened the golden force field. Give me a face and let the food in Sheena's stomach digest quickly. The golden force field shrouded the truth, and the face fruit was activated. After a while, the truth was relieved, and a relaxed expression appeared on his face. This should be the worst time in my life, right? Use the power of face fruit to digest food for my daughter, hey. Yizan shook his head helplessly, and in order to punish the idiot, Yizan simply took the hands of Aili and Hinata and left Marina behind. Being held by Yizan, Yuhi felt dizzy on Hinata's face. She lowered her head shyly and didn't even dare to speak. She held Yizan's hand like this, and began to imagine some strange things in her mind. After lunch, I took a walk on the street as usual, which not only cultivated sentiment, but also helped to digest food. Marina chattered around Yizan all the way. She was very dissatisfied that Yizan didn't hold her hand. Ellie would never let it. Hinata wanted to, but Yizan held Hinata's hand tightly. Stinky dad, bad dad, leave the poor daughter aside. So pitiful, no one loves the poor daughter. Stinky dad doesn't want us, pitiful. Marina thought in pieces, and actually started to sing a song with a melody. She was in a hurry, and a touch of Yuhi drifted in the distance, followed by a slightly familiar voice. Marina, Ellie, Hinata. Long time no see. The sudden voice made Marina look up, and a girl with long Yuhi-colored hair caught her eye. Yo Karen, long time no see. Chapter 466-Sugar-Coated Haas. Karen has been with Konoha for 3 years. In the Chunin exam, after Karen was rescued by the 3 daughters of Marina, she regarded Marina as her savior, and because the two belonged to the Uzumaki clan, they also became closer. Later, Karen came to settle in Konoha. As for her original ninja village, Kusakayan village, she really didn't dare to embarrass Konoha because of a girl with Genin's strength. The girls were chatting together, and Yizan shook his head idly by the side, then he aimed at the marshmallows and candied haws on the street, and silently left the group of the girls. Get me a marshmallow, Yuhi candy and blue candy flavors. Oh, by the way, where did you get the raw materials for your rock candy haws? How long have you left it? Are there any bugs in it? Yizan's words made the hawker look helpless. He simply stopped the marshmallows he was making and took off a bunch of rock candy haws from the tall and long wooden stick. 30 My friend, the hawthorn I chose is the top hawthorn shipped from the highland of the tea country. If you don't believe you eat it, if you eat worms, I will pay you 50,000 taels. The small merchant's tone was bold, and he was obviously full of confidence in his own products. However, Yizan just blinked his eyes dumbly and asked again, so, are there any worms? Quote. The small trader stared at Yizan resentfully, making Yizan hairy all over. He touched the back of his head naively, took the candied haws in the small trader's hand, opened the transparent plastic paper outside, and bit off one of them. Well, it tastes good, sweet and sour, as expected of the top imported hawthorn, and no worms. Yizan nodded in satisfaction, then wrapped the rock candied gourd with transparent plastic paper, and silently inserted it into the high and on a long wooden stick. Quote. The small trader looked at Yizan inexplicably, not understanding what Yizan meant. What are you looking at me for? I didn't say I wanted to buy it. I just asked you if there were any worms in the candied haws. You let me eat it yourself. Now I know there are no worms, so I'll give it back to you Tilda. Yishuani's expression of righteous words made the small merchant completely stupid. He frowned and thought for a long time. It seemed that the other party was right. But, he always felt that something was wrong, but he couldn't think of a reason. Dad, what are you doing? Come here. Go home. The sudden voice interrupted the small trader's thoughts. He raised his head and found that Yizan turned to leave. He raised his hand to hold back, but for some reason, the words he was about to say were stuck in his throat, no matter what he said. Not come out. It's just a customer, why should you stay? But, fuck. Looking at the half-made marshmallows and the ice candy haws missing one, A flash of light flashed through his mind, and the small merchant flinched angrily. Raising his fist, he finally reacted at this moment, and he was rectified. Bastard! Don't let me see you again. Spring gradually shifts to summer, and as early summer comes, the rainy time is more and more. Half a month later, in an abandoned place on the border of the Fire Nation, Sasuke and his two friends moved quickly in the rain. The news of Uchiha Itachi was finally inquired by him. Because of the recent series of actions of Akatsuki, the members inside are no longer secrets. Uchiha Itachi and Oni Shark captured the five-tailed Jinchuriki column force together, and they were also tracked by those who are interested in the underground black market. Clue. The heavy rain was pouring down, but Sasuke couldn't extinguish the flame in Sasuke's heart. It's here. In the middle of the ruins, Sasuke finally stopped. This is one of Uchiha's strongholds, which was established in the Sengoku era and is now deserted. Sasuke didn't know that all the clues he got, everything was arranged behind the scenes, and even Itachi's whereabouts were actively exposed by Itachi. Sasuke has also been puzzled in the past half-month, as if he just needs to follow the clues and find Uchiha Itachi. Although Sasuke is a little confused about this, he doesn't particularly care. As long as he can get revenge, nothing matters. The abandoned stronghold is a dilapidated old castle-like building. Sasuke was about to enter the ruins when suddenly, a powerful chakra burst out. Sweeten, water style. Great waterfall technique. Quote. Boom. The water waves dozens of meters high rushed towards Sasuke and the three of them. Sasuke's eyes narrowed and he quickly ducked to the side. What a strong sweeten, water style. Who is that? Shigego looked forward with a solemn face, and with the sound of footsteps, a man with blue skin slowly walked out. Kisame Hoshigaki. Hey, no me. It doesn't matter, the two of you stay, and only Sasuke Uchiha is allowed to enter. This is a rare request from Itachi. If you let you in casually, I can't explain it to Itachi. Gui Shark's words made Gui Deng Shueyu and Shigego look solemn, but Sasuke was slightly relieved. He just wanted to fight Itachi and find two companions, just to deal with the current situation. Shueyu, Shigego, you guys stay here to monitor him. If he wants to support Uchiha Itachi, you 500 will do your best to block it, and absolutely don't allow anyone to disturb my battle. After Sasuke finished speaking, he instantly turned into a lightning bolt and rushed into the castle. On the spot, the ghost shark looked at Shueyu and Chongo excitedly, and the momentum on his body became stronger and stronger. Two little friends, come to an unfair fight with me. The ghost shark directly fought with Shueyu Shigego. Here, Sasuke held the hilt of the grass pheasant sword and walked slowly in the cold and dilapidated castle corridor. The corridor was very long and dark. He walked for 5 minutes. Finally walked out of the corridor and came to a wide stone room. The center of the stone room, Uchiha Itachi was sitting loosely on the stone chair, with his left hand hanging at the heart of his robe, looking very casual. The moment he saw Itachi, the endless killing intent disappeared. Sasuke stared at Itachi silently, with a calm aura in his eyes that seemed to freeze everything. Uchiha Itachi, we finally meet. It seems that the group has never been made public. I only said it in the book review area before, and this time I posted it in the text. Welcome, 141,915,270. Group answer, Fei Lu. Chapter 467_Sasuke's Revenge. Sasuke and Itachi start a big duel to love and kill each other. At this moment, a fierce quarrel is taking place in Hokage's office. I've already said that you asked me to eat that candied Haas. I just said that eating the worm will pay you 50,000 yuan, but if you don't eat the worm, you have to pay. The reckless man in his 30s looked like he was sloppy. He was a hawker who sold cotton candy and candied Haas half a month ago. He didn't know what the wind was, but he actually spent half a month looking for Yizan. And finally met Yizan on the street again and called the police. Yizan and Manghan fought so hard that Yuhi's ears were red. Namikaze Minato, who was sitting on the office chair, was completely speechless. How much is a candied Haas? What about the two of you? That, big brother's on, this villager, I'll pay for the candied Haas, if. No, Yizan and the reckless man shouted at the same time, instantly scaring Namikaze Minato back. It's not about money, it's about the moral class, Shimura-zan, even if you're the third-generation Hokage back then, even if you're a Konoha hero, you can't help but give money. You can't make fun of me as an idiot. Hey, when did I make you an idiot? I can sue you for slander. Did you let me eat it? Yes. That's fine. No, I let you eat it because you insisted that there are worms in my rock candy gourd. Since there are no worms, you have to pay. Hey, you're going too far. Why do you have to pay if you don't have any insects? I didn't show the willingness to buy it at the time, I just asked casually. You took the initiative to let me eat. The reckless man was stunned, and Yizan followed suit. The two argued with Yuhi's ears red for 10 minutes, and the clamor could be heard throughout the building. Then, finally, Shisui can't take it anymore. Boom. A loud bang, Shisui kicked open the office door fiercely, and he walked in front of Yizan aggressively, looking quite scary. Shisui, do you have anything to do with me? Yizan blinked his eyes innocently, looking dumb and cute. Lord Zan, my Lord Zan, Itachi and Sasuke are about to meet. Hurry up, hurry up, hurry up. Shisui's almost collapsed expression made Yizan stunned for a moment, and then he touched the back of his head a little embarrassedly, and lowered his head shyly. Sorry, Shisui, I forgot. Shisui and Yizan about the place of the duel yesterday. It was in the ruins of Uchiha on the border of the Fire Country. When Yizan teleported to the ruins using the technique of Hiraishin, he happened to see the final duel between Itachi and Sasuke. The ten-fist sword in Susanoo's hand pierced Orochimaru, and Orochimaru roared unwillingly, but he couldn't resist the power of the ten-fist sword. It's over, Sasuke. Itachi looked at Sasuke tenderly. His body has reached its limit. It is an incurable terminal illness. The pain has reduced his strength a lot, and today's battle has exhausted chakra. His body was finally unable to resist the surging disease. He endured the severe pain in his body and walked slowly towards Sasuke, and Sasuke was also unable to resist because he exhausted his chakra. Sasuke could only stare at Itachi in fear, took a few steps back in fear, and put his body on a stone. The heavy rain poured down. Itachi approached Sasuke step by step. He raised his right arm, his index finger and middle finger were slightly close together, and he came to Sasuke firmly. Everything was arranged, everything was discussed with Yizan at the beginning. Sasuke's defection and this duel are all for Sasuke to grow up, all of which, Uchiha Itachi is silently executing. But there is one thing that Uchiha Itachi has never told Yizan, that is his illness, his terminal illness. Thinking of this, a trace of regret finally appeared in Uchiha Itachi's eyes. He wanted to apologize to Yizan, but at this moment, he didn't even have the chance to apologize. Forgive me, Sasuke, this is the last time. His finger on Sasuke's forehead, a smile appeared on Uchiha Itachi's face. However, at this moment, an illusory golden light enveloped him. The next moment, Uchiha Itachi was shocked to find that his body was about to be destroyed by the disease. There has been an unprecedented improvement. Show me face and restore all the cells in Uchiha Itachi. The fruit ability was activated, and Uchiha Itachi's body that was about to collapse was fixed in the air. He was dumbfounded in place, and in front of him was Sasuke's terrified eyes. I'm sorry, Sasuke, I was going to die, but just now. I seem to have recovered. Mangekyo finally appearing in Sasuke's eyes, Itachi laughed for the first time in the world. A ray of sunlight broke through the dark clouds and fell on Itachi's face, bright as a flower. Itachi was happy, Sasuke was puzzled, and the most doubtful was Ju, who was hiding aside, and Uchiha Obito with a spiral mask. What's the situation? Wasn't Itachi exhausted just now? Wasn't it just about to die? What's the situation? Obito's tone was very shocked. He couldn't understand the miraculous scene in front of him. However, the answer as always did not sound, and when Obito looked at Ju suspiciously, he only saw Ju's body and a man wearing a metal hockey mask. It's you again. Hee, it's me Tilda. Yizan looked at Obito with a grin. He quietly sneaked to Ju's side just now, and one move would kill him. Unfortunately, this is only Ju's clone, and he couldn't find his body at all. Bastard, do you want to sabotage my plan again? Who the hell are you? Obito almost went mad when Yizan sabotaged the plan over and over again, but Yizan's strength is too terrifying, especially the ability to confine space, which is completely Kamui's nemesis. He really can't wait to tear off Yizan's mask now, wanting to know the true face of this bastard. Who am I? You're a good question. To tell you the truth, I'm a ghost. Ghost, your sister's shark. You think I'm stupid? Boom. A loud bang, Yizan punched Obito in the cheek. After using the ability of the face fruit to imprison the space, Obito couldn't use the blur at all, and the power contained in the fist made Obito unable to resist at all, as if the strength of cage level was in Yizan. In front of me is just an ant. Blood splattered, Obito screamed and flew down a few hundred meters. Then, he ran away. Chapter 468 _upside down black and white. In the dilapidated ruins, Sasuke leaned against the stone, his eyes widened, like a husky, completely in a state of daze. That's how it happened. Uchiha Obito was the one who killed Uchiha, the leader behind Akatsuki, and Akatsuki's power couldn't even compete with me, so I let Itachi go to Akatsuki as a spy, and in order to make you grow up, we made a revenge together. The plan, the Uchiha family. Only hatred can grow fast. Yizan was talking nonsense with black and white, but Sasuke gradually believed. Why? Because Itachi sat silently at the moment, his face was full of tenderness and love. Brother, is this true? It's true, although I'm sorry, but for your future, everything has been discussed with Master Zan. Don't blame Master Zan, blame me. Uchiha Itachi bowed his head guiltily, and Sasuke couldn't get angry with that look. Forget it. Sasuke sighed softly. In the end, it was all Uchiha Obito's fault. He led Akatsuki to destroy the Uchiha clan, and even made him hate his brother for so many years. So, brother, what should we do now? Back to Konoha. Huh. Sasuke and Itachi went back to Konoha like this, not only in the 683 leaves, but when this incident spread to the entire ninja world, it set off a whole storm. 2 missing nin, including the S-rank missing nin Uchiha Itachi, just returned to Konoha. Subsequently, Konoha issued a statement to the ninja world, telling in detail the situation of Akatsuki's destruction of the Uchiha family, and Uchiha Itachi was the spy Konoha sent into Akatsuki. Assholes. Just bastards. Konoha bastards. They want to smear us. In the tallest spire in the center of the Land of Rain, Nagato angrily smashed the high-grade wooden table made of golden nanmu. As he walked around the room, Rinnegan exuded a terrifying power. Original, because Hanzo of the Salamander died at the hands of Yizan, Nagato's feet were intact, although Yahiko was later killed by Obito's conspiracy which inspired Rinnegan's power, but Nagato could walk freely. Don't be impulsive, Konoha is doing this to make sure we don't dare to attack Konoha. Sarutobi, Danzo, Namikaze Minato, Jiraiya, Tsunade, and Shimura Gen, even if you have Rinnegan, you may not survive. A deep voice suddenly sounded. The ground, a fern-shaped black and white man rose. Absolutely, what should I do now? There is only one way now, to send 100,000 white Zetsu to declare war on the whole ninja world. Declared war. Are you crazy? War must be declared. We have captured so many tailed beasts, which has caused the anger of the whole ninja world. Last week, you captured the 8 tails. Although the capture failed, it also made the 4th generation Raikage violent. Raikage is currently preparing to hold the 5 Shadows Conference. Mizukage, Kazekage and Tsuchikage agreed to participate in the meeting, and Hokage's reply was only needed. However, in Konoha's situation, he would definitely participate in the Five Shadows Conference and unite the ninja world against our Akatsuki. In this case, it is better to declare war directly. If you really can't win, you have to rely on you now. On me? What do you mean? It doesn't make any sense. Black Zetsu's words flickered a bit. Facing Nagato's doubts, he did not continue to answer, but slowly sank to the ground. Get ready, when the Five Shadows Conference is meeting, announce the start of the Ninja World War in front of the world. Nagato didn't attack Konoha like in the original book, because Konoha is too strong now. Even if he has Rinnegan, he can't act rashly. Sasuke, welcome back. In a gorgeous shop in Konoha, Naruto happily raised his water glass. Because he was under 18 years old, he couldn't drink yet. Cheers. The slightly lively scene made Sasuke unable to cope. He raised the water glass stiffly and touched the crowd. Sasuke always betrayed, but because of Uchiha Itachi's latent credits, the merits and demerits are offsetting Sasuke's crime of betraying Konoha. In addition to Naruto, there are Sakura, Kakashi and Itachi, because Sasuke has always been a cold personality, and the relationship between Konoha and Sasuke is not very good. In the end, in addition to the Kakashi class, there is another Itachi to celebrate Sasuke's return. The battle with Itachi, Sasuke accidentally opened Mangekyo Sharingan. Not only that, because of the battle with all his strength has also broken through to cage level. Compared with Naruto, who is still an elite Jonin, Sasuke's strength has already suppressed Naruto. Lots and lots. There's no way this can be done. 3 years of Hell-style training and Sharingan's unique promotion method have made Sasuke's progress very fast, but from now on, Sasuke's progress will slow down, and once the Ninja World War breaks out, Naruto's strength will increase rapidly. Sasuke-kun, welcome back. Sakura also touched the glass with Sasuke. For some reason, Sasuke, who hadn't seen her for 3 years, was happy in her heart, but not as excited as she imagined, and this so-called joy, it's just the joy of the teammates returning, and there is not much emotion between men and women. But then again, Sakura, you didn't cry. I guessed before that when Sasuke came back, you would cry with excitement. Naruto asked stupidly, making Sakura's hand holding the chopsticks pause for a moment. She glancing at Sasuke, he put down his chopsticks and gently stroked his hair. Everyone grows up. Sasuke is back, of course I'm very happy. As for crying. Naruto, do you still think I'm Sakura from 3 years ago? Sakura said, and glared at Naruto pretending to be angry. That look made Naruto drunk instantly. Sakura, you're still as beautiful as ever. Bah, stupid Naruto, what are you talking about? This girl is much prettier than before. You big idiot. What is it, Sakura? You used to be a 100 out of 100 in my eyes, and now you are still out of 100, nothing has changed. Damn Naruto, if it used to be 100 points, now I have to give me 118 points. 118 points. This is also possible. I will give you 100 first, and the remaining 18 points will be given to you in the form of 666. Naruto and Sakura complained, and the atmosphere at the dining table became cheerful, and with Kakashi interjecting and complaining, a smile finally appeared on the corner of Sasuke's mouth. These idiots haven't changed at all. Chapter 469-5 Shadows Conference. Konoha village is still prosperous, and a rare group of people gathered in the Hokage office. Minato, Sarutobi, Danzo, the 2 advisors, Yi-zan, and Yi-zan's 2 daughters were all present. Grandpa, sit down quickly, I'll rub your shoulders for you Tilda. Marina stood behind Danzo and kept pinching Danzo's shoulders with her hands. This girl is usually hot, and her filial piety is definitely no less than others. Grandpa, eat fruit. Ellie cut an apple into buds and handed it to Danzo. Danzo smiled happily and took the apple with great joy. Thank you Ellie, thank you Marina, you are really good granddaughter of Grandpa. Ignoring the jealous gazes of a group of people, Danzo ate apples on his own, watching Danzo's happy face Yuhi's face. Sarutobi pouted in disgust. Their family is just a naughty Konoha pill, all day long pissed myself off. Damn Danzo. Homura Mitokado and Kaharu Utatane thought at the same time. For some reason, they had no children under their knees. Seeing Marina and Ellie so filial, their eyes were full of envy. So having a good son and having 2 good granddaughters under a good son is the happiest thing in the world, unlike you old antiques. Danzo smiled proudly. Konoha's development and the happiness of his family made he felt an unprecedented satisfaction. After all, his wish in this life was to hope that his son had a good life and Konoha developed well. Danzo, that's enough. Don't show off here, today is about the 5 Shadows Conference. Sarutobi angrily tapped the armrest of the chair with his pipe. He felt that if this continued, he would be really pissed off by Danzo. The 5 Shadows Convention. If you want me to say it is to participate, but it must be led by us Konoha. Marina squeezed his shoulders. Danzo was very comfortable, he said while chewing an apple, making Sarutobi's eyes even more envious. I support Danzo's words. Our Konoha is strong enough to be the leader, and the remaining tailed beasts of Akatsuki, except Killer Bee Jinchuriki, call him power in the land of thunder. 2, 3, Kyubi, 9 tails, are all in Konoha. From in all respects, we, Konoha, deserve to be the leaders of the 5-nation coalition. But are the other 4 countries willing? With the character of the 4th Raikage. Akatsuki is too strong, and the 4th generation Raikage is not someone who doesn't care about the overall situation. Instead, I think Onoki's side is more troublesome. Compared with Onoki's character, he is very stubborn. As for the country of wind and water, Kazekage Gaara is too young, and I took on Konoha's love before. Mizukage, Terumi Mei is Xiaozan's lover. Hey, dead monkey, how are you talking? Yizan glared at Sarutobi lightly. Sarutobi immediately changed his words with a smile. Mizukage Terumi Mei is Xiaozan's Yuhiyan confidant, right this time. Brat. Humph, you're right. The 5 Shadows Conference was unanimously approved in the discussion by everyone. Then, Namikaze Minato began to choose guards to accompany him. When he heard that he could go to the 5 Shadows Conference, Jinai was immediately excited. For her lively personality, as long as it was an event, she wanted to participate. I'm going. Choose me. Uncle Minato, if you don't choose me, I'll beat Naruto 10 times. Marina waved her fist fiercely, making Namikaze Minato sweat profusely. Thinking of Naruto when a man was about to be beaten up by Shiji, he felt guilty and nodded immediately. Since the truth is going, the guards will be counted as your share. Thank you Uncle Minato tilde. Marina smiled happily, while Ellie didn't speak. She had no interest in this kind of boring 5 Shadows Conference. During the process of choosing a guard, Yizan didn't say anything. His eyes were rolling, obviously he had other plans. Because Akatsuki's actions made the situation very critical, the 5 Shadows Convention was almost pinched. The location of the meeting is set in the country of Iron, in the upper middle of the 3 kingdoms of fire, thunder and earth. According to the schedule of the meeting, Namikaze Minato will set off in about 5 days. Because the country of fire is relatively close to the country of iron, the departure in 5 days happens to be the time for the meeting. On the other side, the country of water, which is farthest from the country of iron, Mizukage Terumi Mei has already stood at the entrance of the village of Kurigakure, followed by a group of ninjas. Government affairs have been handed over to a few elders for the time being. I hope you can handle government affairs while I'm away. That's it, let's go. Terumi Mei waved his hand and took the lead to leave the village. At this moment, there was a sudden fluctuation in the space, and Yizan instantly appeared beside Terumi Mei. Shimura-zan. Enemy attack. Since Yizan was not wearing a metal hockey mask this time, the guards instantly recognized Yizan. They quickly pulled out the kunai and were about to attack, but were stopped by Terumi Mei. Stop. What are you doing? Mizukage-sama, this is Shimura-gen. I know it's Shimura-zan, so what? Do you think that if Shimura-zan wants to make a move, you still have a chance to attack? Terumi Mei's words silenced the guards, especially the leader, who held kunai tightly, but there was an unconcealed fear in his eyes. Yo, Ching, long time no see, how are you doing recently? Seeing Ching, who had become a middle-aged man, Yi-zan greeted with a smile. Gee, Shimura-zan, I'm fine. After the last battle of the Third Ninja World War, Ching was so frightened of Yi-zan that he saw Yi-zan with his own eyes. Killing all the powerhouses in the country of water in seconds. Since that battle, when he heard Yi-zan's name, he felt chills all over. Hey, Mei Ming, your bodyguards are not good. When they see me, they tremble. How can they protect you? Yi-zan didn't care about the gazes of the people present. He smiled and hugged Terumi Mei's waist. Terumi Mei turned the Byakugan lightly, and did not reject Yi-zan's behavior at all. Are you embarrassed, big rascal? You said that you have made our country of water so miserable. She raised her jade finger and poked Yi-zan's forehead, and all the guards grew up in shock with her flirtatious appearance. Mouth. What are you looking at? Do you want to die? Turn them all around. Yi-zan's eyes widened, causing everyone to turn their heads in fright. Then, Yi-zan gently kissed Terumi Mei's lips and pulled him up her hand. Baby, this Five Shadows conference, let me be your escort. Chapter 470-Declare War. The Iron Country, a very rare and absolutely neutral country, where it snows all year round and the cold erodes everything. Baby, are you cold? It's not cold. Cold, come on, I won't be cold when I hold you, Tilda. It's not cold anymore. I hate it. Just trying to take advantage of me. Terumi Mei pursed her lips with Yuhi's face, but in the end she couldn't hold back Yi-zan, and was hugged tightly by Yi-zan. Behind him, a group of Kurigakure guards lowered their heads, and it was no surprise that they had seen it along the way. But seriously, when did Mizukage-sama get involved with Shimura-gen? I don't know, I guess. Silence. Don't you want to live? Ching glared at these ignorant guards. Shimura-zan, can you discuss it? Once you anger him, everyone will die. The venue of the Five Shadows Conference is an octagonal tower. Before reaching the tower, the leader of the Iron Country, Mifune, had been waiting for a long time. He walked a few steps to greet him and politely extended his hand. Welcome to Mizukage. This is... Seeing Yi-zan's arrogant way of hugging Terumi Mei, Mifune was slightly taken aback and looked a little surprised. Hello, my name is Shimura-zan, I'm Mizukage's escort. Yi-zan smiled and shook hands with Mifune, hugged Terumi Mei and walked towards the tower, where Mifune was still in a daze. What the hell is Shimura-zan? Could it be Konoha's Shimura-gen? But if it's Konoha's Shimura-gen, why did he get involved with Mizukage again? Mizukage's escort. However, Yi-zan had already walked into the tower with Terumi Mei in his arms, and even if Mifune was puzzled, he could only follow. The top floor of the tower is the conference room of the Five Shadows Conference. After entering the conference room, Yi-zan unexpectedly found that the other four shadows had arrived. He took Terumi Mei's hand and slowly came to Mizukage's position, and asked Terumi Mei to sit down. He was standing beside Terumi Mei. Yo, hello everyone. Yi-zan greeted everyone with a smile. Dad bastard. No wonder you didn't accompany me out, so you went to Sister Terumi Mei's side. Marina puffed up angrily, looking very angry. Hey, Marina, it's the Five Shadows Conference now. As one of Hokage's guards, you should keep quiet and vigilant to prevent any unexpected situations from happening at any time. Yi-zan smiled smugly, and even more provocatively hooked his fingers towards the truth, and then, where did the truth take care of the Five Shadows Conference? And shouted angrily. Zhang Qiba danced his claws and rushed towards Yi-zan, and threw a grunt on Yi-zan. On Zan's body, he suddenly opened his mouth and took a bite. Oh, yeah. It hurts. Marina, my baby, my cutest baby, let go. So many people are watching. Woohoo. After a while of chicken flying, Yizan finally retreated to the back holding Maina, and a large number of curtains suddenly descended, separating the 5 shadows and the guards from the middle. Conference round table. Yizan accompanied Terumi Mei on the stage and was willing to act as Terumi Mei's bodyguard, which made Yi and Onoki awe-inspiring. According to their usual temperament, Terumi Mei has long been ridiculed by Yin and Yang, but Yizan's presence made them breathless, and they could only hold back their dissatisfaction. For a time, the entire conference room was silent. Onoki and Yui didn't speak. Terumi Mei didn't speak either. Gaara was the youngest, with no qualifications, so talking was useless, and finally, Namikaze Minato pondered for a moment and tapped the table lightly. Everyone, I believe everyone knows Akatsuki's behavior. So far, Akatsuki has collected 1, 4, 5, 6, and 7. They are powerful and have gathered a group of S-rank missing nin. This time 5. The film conference was sent by Reikage, so Reikage, what do you think? My thoughts. I hope. With the opening of Namikaze Minato and Yi, the meeting finally began to have a heated discussion. In the dark corner of the conference room that was covered by the curtain, Yizan yawned boredly, and the truth in his arms arched to and fro restlessly. Dad. Huh. They tilde. Genai kissed Yizan on the cheek, and then put her head to Yizan's ear, snoring like a pig. Little idiot. Yizan smiled, hugged Marina's waist gently, and rubbed the other hand on her hair gently. The 5 shadows meeting involved too many conflicts of interest, and it took a long time to hold the meeting. After all, the 5 major countries have accumulated too many contradictions over the years, and it is difficult to determine joint matters in an instant. However, unless Akatsuki continues to persecute, such as continuing to persecute the ninjas of the 5 major countries, such as taking the initiative to provoke a ninja war. Yizan thought for a while, and vaguely remembered that in the original book, Uchiha Obito would declare war at the 5 Shadows Conference, right? When will you arrive? Isn't it coming? But that's right, I've changed too many plots over the years, and it wouldn't be a strange thing if Uchiha Obito didn't come. Thinking of this, Yizan suddenly sensed a wave of space fluctuations, and at the same time, Namikaze Minato also sensed space fluctuations. Phew. Namikaze Minato's eyes narrowed, staring at the open space not far away, and Namikaze Minato's sudden behavior made the other 4 shadows awe-inspiring, and followed Minato's gaze. There was a faint ripple in the space, and a man wearing a spiral mask appeared in front of everyone. There was a hole on the right side of the spiral mask. Inside the hole, Yuhi's 35.6 Tomo Sharingan slowly turned. Hi everyone, nice to meet you, my name is Uchiha Madara. Uchiha Madara. Uchiha Madara is already dead. Fake rubbish, take a punch from me. The thunder exploded, Yayoi rushed in front of Obito in an instant, and the fierce punch was mixed with a devastating Raiden thunder style. Shoo! Thunder bloomed, smashing the walls of the conference room. Yi's pupils shrank, and she instantly retreated. What kind of power is this? Why can't I hit you? You want to hit me too. Sit down, now I'm going to tell you one thing, about Akatsuki's purpose, about our Akatsuki. The war that is about to be declared. Chapter 471 Leader of the Ninja Army. Obito came, Obito left. He gently waved the sleeve of Yui Cloud on the black background, leaving no Yui Cloud behind. The conference room was silent. Everyone was shocked by Obito's words, the purpose of collecting the 9 tails, the Moon Eye plan, everything, all shocked them. Akatsuki has really declared war. Yeah, we can't continue infighting on our side. I think it's best to finish the 5 Shadows talks today. I agree with the 5 generations of Hokage, the establishment of the Ninja Alliance, but the leader of the Ninja Alliance must not let you or Shimura-zan be. Reikage, what do you mean? Shimura-zan killed my father back then, you Namikaze Minato. You used the technique of Hiraishin to kill a lot of ninjas in my village. Kumogakure village, can't accept either of you as the leader. Not even Sarutobi and Danzo. Hehe, you've eliminated all our Konoha masters. Reikage, do you want to be the leader yourself? 30. I didn't say that. Your Konoha's strength is indeed much more than our 4 major countries. I don't want to compete with Konoha for the position of leader. My request is very simple. The leader of the ninja coalition must have never participated in the 2nd or 3rd Ninja World Great War. Only in this way can the contradiction between the ninjas of the 5 countries be minimized. Quote. Those who haven't participated in the war are the younger generation, how to convince the public. And, who has the courage to ride on the heads of cage-level masters from the 5 countries and become the leader? I'm coming. The crisp voice made everyone stunned for a moment, and everyone turned their heads at the same time, and saw the beautiful cheeks of the truth in Yizan's arms. This girl wants to be the leader of the ninja coalition. Whoever of you refuses to accept it, stand up and let you taste this girl's fist. Marina actually wants to be the leader of the ninja coalition. This is not always funny. Everyone just thought Marina was joking, but, facing Marina's cute little fist, Namikaze Minato shrank his neck and confessed. If Marina wants to be the leader, I have no problem. Namikaze Minato said, shocking everyone present. If it's Marina, I have no opinion. Terumi covered her mouth and snickered. She thought it was funny. Gaara has the least qualifications, but after he was resurrected from his mother-in-law Chiyo, he knew a series of situations to save himself, knew that Marina saved Kankuro, and played the most important role in the whole operation. Thanks to Marina's kindness, he finally nodding, agreeing with Marina as the leader. Hokage, Mizukage, and Kazekage actually agreed to such a playful request at the same time, which shocked Yuyai and Onoki. Yuyai clenched her fists and looked at Junai. For some reason, he was suddenly frightened by Junai's eyes. Swallowing his saliva, he unexpectedly agreed to the proposal. I agree. Nodded, and only Onoki was left. As a stubborn old man who was famous in the ninja world, how could Onoki allow a little girl to be the leader of the 5-Nation Alliance? Chisa's smile, and the maliciousness hidden in the smile. Whoa! As if frozen in ice, Onoki shivered, but he didn't know that Yizan had quietly exerted an extremely high amount of mental oppression just now. Not a difficult thing. I agree with. Time passed day by day, and in just a few days, the entire ninja world had undergone earth-shaking changes. Disguised as Uchiha Madara, Obito announced the opening of the 5th Ninja World War at the 5 Shadows Convention, which made the entire ninja world feel the crisis. The ninjas of the 5 countries united in the true sense, and the ninja coalition was quickly established. However, hey, why is the leader of the Ninja Alliance a little girl? What is Lord Reikage thinking? Is it because there are too many planes recently? My eyes are dim. Shut up. How can you insult Reikage-sama? I have already inquired about it before. Shimura Marina is Shimura Zan's daughter. I heard that she is so powerful that she defeated Hokage at the 5 Shadows tournament. What? It's obviously a move to defeat Tsuchikage. Nonsense. A friend of my daughter-in-law's father's younger brother's son is one of the guards of the 5 Shadows convention. He told me that Shimura Marina just glanced at Lord Reikage with one eye, and Lord Reikage was subdued. Impossible. Lord Reikage is invincible in the world, how can he be soft-hearted by a little girl? If you don't believe me, go and find out for yourself. I'm definitely not talking nonsense. Such a voice is discussed in the mouths of all the ninjas in the 5 countries. Konoha is better. After all, the middle and high-level circles of Konoha know Marina's lawless character. If she really wants to be the leader of the ninja coalition, our 5th generation Hokage really can't do it. I really didn't expect that Marina actually played so much. After all, she is the daughter of Brother Zan, and she has great courage. Then, as the biggest opponent in my life, Kakashi, let's have a bloody game. Might Guy gave a thumbs up, Kiba's teeth gleaming in the sunlight bright 003 light. Sorry, Guy, were you just talking? Woo, actually ignoring me, worthy of being the biggest opponent in my life. What? Marina wants to be the leader of the Ninja Alliance. Konoha, Shimura's house. Kushina's eyes widened in disbelief, her face full of shock. Yes. Yizan shrugged. Marina was so out of touch with her lively character that even he was startled at the time. Yizan originally thought that Kushina was worried about her daughter's safety, but the next second, his face darkened, and he finally knew what kind of woman could give birth to a daughter who was so free from Marina. Good job. As expected of my daughter. It's great. Kushina jumped up and down with joy, and her flamboyant appearance was exactly the same as that of Marina. The union of the ninja world proceeded quickly and smoothly. Although all the ninjas complained about the leader's age and strength, they could no longer oppose it because of the approval of the five shadows. On the other side, Uchiha Obito was standing at the entrance of a cave, and in front of him was a man shrouded in a yuhi-colored kabuto hat. Kabuto, are you okay? Hey. Of course there is no problem, to be the enemy of the whole ninja world. I'm really looking forward to it. Chapter 472_Slug. The fourth ninja war is finally here. A total of 100,000 ninja allied forces have gathered, and among them, there are actually 30,000 Konoha ninjas. The 100,000 ninjas are divided into 5 super generous teams, and the foreheads of the ninjas have all become forbearance, and there is no distinction between countries. 100,000 ninjas, 5 super battalions, and several special units started a huge war in the Fire Country, and 100,000 white Zetsu also divided into many teams to kill the ninja coalition. Not only that, the strong men from Yakushi Kabuto Impure World Reincarnation, and made the ninja allied forces suffer. The shadows of the 5 countries who have died, the famous powerhouses in the ninja world, including Hanzo of the Salamander, the 7 former ninja swordsmen, etc. There are dozens of people, all of them were reincarnated by Kabuto who opened the Sage Mode. Not only these Impure World Reincarnation people, but also people from Akatsuki, Oni, Deidara, Hidan, Sasori, all participated in the battle, and the powerful strength must be sent to cage-level masters to compete with them. There are too many strong ones. Allied ninja army was beaten by 100,000 white Zetsu and a large number of strong men, and the strong men of the 5 troops were injured one after another. On the battlefield of the first unit, Kakashi groaned and took a dozen steps back while clutching his arms. Kakashi, are you alright? Hatake Sakumo killed a white Zetsu with one knife, and came to Kakashi's side in an instant. He was attacked by a steady stream of enemies, and Kakashi was seriously injured. It's okay. Dad, be careful. Kakashi's face changed drastically, and the 3 Tomo Sharingan gathered together in an instant. Kamui. Whoa. Space was distorted, and the second generation Tsuchikage that attacked Hatake Sakumo was actually crushed by Kamui. Unfortunately, Impure World Reincarnation would not die. Soon, the crushed second generation Tsuchikage was wrapped in countless scraps of paper and resurrected again. It has to be sealed, Kakashi, let's deal with him together. Not only the first unit, but all the units were fighting fiercely. From the general trend, Impure World Reincarnation and Akatsuki combined had more powerhouses than the Ninja Coalition. Together with the 100,000 white Zetsu who were not afraid of death, the Ninja Coalition suffered heavy losses. Ninja Alliance Headquarters. Click, click, click. The crunchy chewing sound was very harsh, and the slug was comfortably lying on the desk, with French fries in front of it. Well, it's delicious. Marina, do you want to eat it? The slug waved its tentacles and rolled around on the table lively. Hey, I don't want to eat it. It's so boring. Why is it so boring to be the leader of the Ninja Coalition? With her right hand on her cheek, her whole person seemed to have no motivation. Marina turned her head to look at a few ninjas who were maintaining a huge ball, not far away, and sighed boredly again. There are not many people in the huge battle command room. The ninjas who maintain the ball, not far away are the top sensory ninjas in the ninja world. In order to fight against Akatsuki, the 5 major countries have come up with many cards, and this ball that can perceive the whole ninja world, is one of the trump cards of the Kingdom of Thunder. The ball covers the entire ninja world. Several perception ninjas sit cross-legged on the ground with their hands in the air. They can perceive all the chakra fluctuations in the ninja world through the ball, whether it is a win or a loss, and whether the enemy has strong reinforcements can feel it. On the other side of the wall, there are several headsets similar to VR virtual reality. Yamanaka Inoichi is sitting in the middle, next to several Yamanaka ninjas. This is one of the trump cards contributed by Konoha. Connected to the ball, through a headset similar to VR virtual reality, the Yamanaka family can talk to people anywhere in the ninja world, and the effect is excellent. Well, as for the slugs. Because the Yamanaka family's calls need to capture chakra, the consumption is also very large, so if it is not particularly important or must be sent in groups, ordinary information will be transmitted by slugs. Among the 5 super units, the captain, vice captain, and special forces captain all have a small slug on their shoulders. Because of the slug's almost immortal splitting ability, even if the captain or vice captain dies, she can run to the shoulders of other ninjas, so as to continue the task of conveying the message. News coming. The slug's sudden words made Marina finally enthusiastic. She looked at the slug eagerly, her face full of excitement. What news? There is news from Darui, the deputy captain of the first unit, that the Golden Horn and the Silver Corner have been sealed. It's so good to seal an enemy so quickly. The door of the battle command room was suddenly pushed open, and Yi Yuyu, Gaara, and Nara Shikaku walked in. The news has been known. This is a good situation. It shows that our fighting method is right. Shikaku said seriously, and there was a small slug on his shoulder. Not only him, Yi Yai and Gaara had on their shoulders. Humph. What? I'm a leader who doesn't have any interest in front of me. Plan you out, act and do it, then what about me? Marina pouted angrily, and Shikaku sweated profusely with her angry eyes. That, Princess Marina, you are our spiritual leader and the most important person in the whole ninja world. How can you be boring? You are the sun in the sky, exuding 1,000 rays of light. With you here, we are 10,000 ninjas. The army has morale. Shikaku's shameless flattery made Yayui and Gaara look at each other, completely speechless. Who would believe this? Do you really think Shimura Gen's daughter is an idiot? Then. So my status is so important, By Shikaku, Marina laughed happily, but as if thinking of something, her smile disappeared again. Shikaku. Yes, what is Princess Marina's order? Where's my dad? Brother Zan, Shikaku was startled and wanted to lie, but when he saw Marina's threatening gaze, he swallowed in fear and looked out the door subconsciously. Big brother Zan. He was with Mizukage-sama. As for where they are, I don't know. Daddy Sei and Terumi Mei's sister together. Slug, you must know. Shikaku didn't know that. Shinai suddenly turned his eyes to the slug, and the slug, clicked, ate a French fries, waved his tentacles, and then ate a French fries into his mouth again. That. Bad Xiaoshuan and Terumi Mei are in the bedroom. Oops. My avatar was released by Bad Xiaoshuan. He must be doing something shameful. Chapter 473 _ The Ninja Allied Forces gradually become superior. The Fifth Ninja World War broke out very quickly, and the fighting situation was also very tragic. Ninjas continue to die, and White Zetsu clones continue to disappear, and as time goes on, the Ninja Alliance gradually turns from disadvantage to advantage. Golden Horn Silver Horn, sealed by Darui, Tenten, Akamichi Choza, Hyuga Hiyashi and others. Second Generation Tsuchikage, sealed by Hatake Sakumo and Kakashi. The 7 former ninja swords were sealed by Sasuke and Itachi. Sasori, defeated by Naruto Sakura, is imprisoned. Deidara, defeated by Lois Kuratsuchi teaming up, imprisoned. However, this is only a very small part. A larger number of reincarnators are still frantically attacking the ninja coalition, and because of the loss of several impure world reincarnations, Kabuto's control over the remaining reincarnations is stronger. The situation of the Allied Ninja Army has improved a little bit, but the headquarters of the Allied Ninja Army is having an earth-shattering fight. Dad bastard. It's all this time and I'm still playing with Sister Terumi May. Marina, don't talk nonsense, I'm just chatting with Terumi May. Chat, you cancelled the slug clone. You must be doing something unspeakable. I'll bite you to death. Pain. Baby girl 787, let go, you are now the leader of the Ninja Coalition. Demeanor. Pay attention to your demeanor. Hey, okay, Dad is wrong. Dad will play with you in the command room from now on, okay? Really? Exactly. Seeing Yizan's serious face, Marina finally let go. She hugged Yizan's neck happily, completely ignoring the row of kiba marks and saliva left on Yizan's shoulders. Dad is the best. Because of the presence of Marina and Yizan at the headquarters of the Ninja Alliance, not only did they not have the seriousness and solemnity during the war, but they were very happy all day long. Not only the two of them, but Yizan took all the women to the headquarters because he was worried about accidents. With him this Six Paths powerhouse is in town, and no one can hurt the headquarters. Yizan lived comfortably, but in another place, the atmosphere was very solemn. 100,000 white Zetsu and a group of strong men are gradually at a disadvantage. When did the union of the ninja world become so strong? Don't forget, the five shadows, Shimura-zan, Sarutobi, and others didn't make a move. White Zetsu said mockingly, making Black Zetsu's face a little ugly. Don't forget, Uzumaki Nagato and Obito didn't shoot either, and Madara didn't come back to life. Humph. Speaking of Madara, what should we do with this matter? Our goal is to revive Mother-sama. First, we have to gather the tailed beasts to resurrect 10 tails. What should Obito do? Are you talking about the three-tailed Jinchuiki column force? Well, now, no matter how much you can't hide it, Obito will definitely know about Nohara Rin's situation when he captures the three tails. What should I do then? White Zetsu's worry is not unreasonable. For this, Black Zetsu there is no way. After all, he also stabbed Nohara Rin back then, but unfortunately he was stopped by Yizan. Should we just let Nagato shoot? Or, Black Zetsu hesitated, but didn't say anything. Or what? White Zetsu continued to press, not a good idea to let Nagato shoot. Or give up Obito, give up Nagato. I personally possess Nagato and use the technique of Rinne Tensai, Samsara of Heavenly Life, to resurrect Madara. With Madara's strength, it is not difficult to capture the remaining tailed beasts. Not in a hurry for the time being, let's look at the situation on Yakushi Kabuto's side first. If Madara from Impure World Reincarnation can cooperate with Nagato to capture the tailed beast, then there is no hurry for the time being. Where's Obito? Obito can continue to try hard. Although we lied to him at the beginning, Rin Nohara is now Shimura's woman. Do you think Shimura will return the woman to him? You can try, but if it doesn't work, you can only give up on him. Black-White Zetsu continued to plot their plans. On the battlefield of the ninja world, the advantages of the ninja coalition continued to expand. Although the expansion rate was very slow, it was indeed expanding. After half a day, Hanzo of the Salamander, sealed by the 3 ships of the Iron Country. Second generation of Mizukage Ghost Lantern Moon, because it is too powerful, Gaara and Onoki in the 5 Shadows finally attacked. After a hard fight, they joined forces to seal the Ghost Lantern Moon. Third generation of Reikage, because of its powerful strength, the ninja army suffered heavy losses. In the end, Yizan finally walked out of the headquarters of the Ninja Alliance and used the technique of Hiraishin to teleport to the battlefield. 3 generations of Reikage, long time no see. The dust filled the sky, and in the endless wilderness, tens of thousands of white Zetsu and tens of thousands of coalition troops were fighting frantically. The center, an area of more than 2,000 square meters was vacated, and the ninja coalition had been scared by the 3 generations of Reikage. Shimura-san, long time no see. The third-generation Reikage looked at Yi-san silently, without the slightest anger in his eyes, exuding a deep feeling that could not be explained. The moment the two looked at each other, Yi-san suddenly had a strange feeling. He couldn't tell what it felt, but he felt that the three generations of Reikage were a little different. There's something wrong with you. You see it. What do you mean? Yi-san asked with a frown, but the third-generation Reikage closed his mouth and didn't answer. Shimura-gen, let's fight. Call out. The thunder flashed with dazzling light, and the third-generation Reikage rushed over at a speed close to teleportation in space. The power of the Raiden Thunder style chakra mode was fully reflected in the third-generation Reikage. Hell stabs. One of a kind. Third generation of Reikage let out a loud shout. The index finger burst out with the power to destroy everything, and Yi-san also raised his finger, stepped, and stabbed suddenly. Boom. The wind and thunder burst out with unimaginable violent energy. Thousands of shock waves burst out from the center of the storm, and the 2,000-meter earth collapsed, turning into a circle of earth waves and spreading in all directions. Boom. Third generation of Reikage was torn to shreds by the violent futon wind style even if Yi-san did not enter the six paths mode, but his chakra has undergone a qualitative change, which is not something cage-level powerhouses can fight against. Smashed, and the third generation Reikage was actually smashed by Yi-san with one move. However, due to the characteristics of impure world reincarnation, countless scraps of paper appeared in the air, slowly condensing the three-generation Reikage together. Impure world reincarnation is disgusting. 3 generations of Reikage, this time, I'm going to seal you. Seal it, it's alright, but... The third-generation Reikage stared at Yi-san silently, and did not resist in the face of the spiral thrust that Yi-san struck again. It's a pity. Chapter 474 The Truth. A pity for what? Generation Reikage was sealed made Yi-san puzzled. Without any clues, he couldn't guess any information at all. Well, I don't want to think about things that I can't figure out. Yi-san is such a free and easy man. In the eyes of the Ninja Coalition's worship, Yi-san waved his hand free and easy, his figure flashed and disappeared instantly. When Yi-san left the battlefield, in a dark cave of the ninja, Obito took off the spiral mask, and then put on a new mask. This is a white mask with 3 Tomo Sharingan patterns drawn with brush and ink on the mask. His clothes have also changed. They are no longer the Akatsuki clothes of Yuhi-yun with a black background, but a dark blue robe, which is somewhat similar to that of Yu-kai. Wave of clothing. He has a huge fan on his back, which is wider than a human and about 1.5 meters long. This is an artifact of the Uchiha family that has been inherited from generation to generation. It can rebound attacks. As long as the caster is strong and uses it properly, S-rank ninjutsu can also be used at will. Rebound. It's almost time, it's time for me to play. Obito said softly, the eyes hidden in the new mask flashed with a firm light, and a group of people stood beside him, and if you looked closely, you could recognize that this group of people was the dead Jinchuriki column force. The 4-tailed person Jinchuriki column Li Laozi, the 5-tailed person Jinchuriki column Li Hen, the 6-tailed person Jinchuriki column Li Yugao, the 7-tailed person Jinchuriki column Li Feng. There is no Yagura in this group, because in the last battle of the Third Ninja World War, in order to die with Yi-san, Yagura completely released the 3 tails before he died, so after he came out of impure world reincarnation, he was just an ordinary cage level strong. No one has the power of Jinchuriki column force. The disadvantage of 100,000 white Zetsu and the reincarnator is getting bigger and bigger. Kabuto should be about to lose his temper and reincarnate Uchiha Madara. That's fine, as long as Uchiha Madara attracts enough powerhouses, especially Shimura-san. Nagato and I went to sneak attack on the headquarters of the Ninja Alliance, and captured San, Ya, and Kyubi 9 tails in one go. Quote. Thinking of this, Obito's heart burned with enthusiasm. As long as he captured the remaining tailed beasts, he would be able to implement the Moon Eye plan, and he would be able to. Obito, A dull and hoarse voice interrupted Obito's fantasy. He turned his head in annoyance. On the ground, a half-black and half-white person floated up. Absolutely, what? Has Kabuto reincarnated Uchiha Madara? No, Obito, there's one thing I haven't told you. Until now, it has to be said. There was no sound in the cold, dark cave, and the silence and emptiness enveloped everything. This is half an hour later. Obito clenched his fists tightly, cage-level chakra flew around uncontrollably, he was trembling all over, and looked at Ju full of resentment. You lied to me for more than 10 years. Sorry, actually I don't know that Nohara Rin is still alive. I suspect that Shimura-zan was involved in a ghost. You can clearly see that Nohara Rin was killed by Kakashi. I only found out about 3 years ago that Nohara Rin was still alive. Alive. You lied to me. I didn't lie to you. I swear, I really only found out about this fact 3 years ago, and when I found out, Rin Nohara was already Shimura-gen's wife. I was worried that you would collapse, so I kept hiding it. I'm with you, for your own good. Ju's words made Obito's aura more and more chaotic, killing intent, remorse, unwillingness, all kinds of emotions lingering in his eyes, and after a full 10 minutes, it slowly stagnates. You swear you didn't lie to me? I swear, if I lie to you, all my plans will fail. Ju made such an oath, which made Obito believe it a little bit. He stared gloomily at Ju, staring into Ju's eyes. As for Ju, as an existence that has lived for thousands of years, his psychological quality is absolutely awesome. Facing Obito's gaze, he only has sincerity and seriousness in his eyes, and he can't see the slightest deception. Well, I believe you for now, so why are you telling me this at this time? Because Nohara Rin is a three-tailed Jinchuiki column force. What? Obito's eyes widened in disbelief, as if he wanted to be sure again, and repeated, Rin is the three-tailed Jinchuiki column force. Well, if the plan is to continue, we have to extract Nohara Rin's tailed beast. No, draw the tailed beast, and Rin will die. Absolutely not. Don't worry Obito, since I took the initiative to tell you about Nohara Rin's situation, I naturally have a way to keep her alive. Three-tailed ranks very low among the 9-tailed beasts. As long as half or even half of the tailed beasts are drawn, they can be merged into 10 tails. In that case, Nohara Rin will be weak at best, and there will be no danger to his life. Quote. But it's nothing, don't forget, Nohara Rin is now Shimura-zan's woman, don't you like her very much? If you like her, take her over. Shimura-zan's strength is invincible in the ninja world, only by becoming a 10-tails person Jinchuiki column has the strength to defeat Shimura-gen. Constantly tempted, gradually, Obito's emotions calmed down, he watched silently for a long time, and finally nodded slightly. Rin is mine and no one can take it away. Continue to execute the plan. Obito's obsession with Rin is too deep, making this decision is also within Ju's expectations. Since Obito decides to continue the implementation of the plan, he will no longer be verbose. Soon, Ju's clone will emerge from the land in another place. Out. Kabuto, it's time for the final plan. Summon Uchiha Madara. The low voice made Yakushi Kabuto stunned for a moment, and then a smile flashed across his mouth. His consciousness was connected to the people of Impure World Reincarnation, and finally to the 4th generation of Mizukage Yagura. At this moment, Yagura is fighting in the Endless Desert, and 20,000 White Zetsu clones are frantically fighting the ninja army. Kabuto controlled Yagura to retreat to a huge rock, quickly hand seal with both hands, slam the ground with a light drink, and slam the ground. Impure World Reincarnation. The powerful chakra burst out, and the pattern of the psychic array spread rapidly. In less than a second, a coffin emerged from the ground. Boom! The door panel of the coffin shattered, and a figure slowly walked out. Finally out. Chapter 475 _ still playing cards leisurely. La la la, come and chase me tilde. At the headquarters of the Ninja Allied Forces, Yizan kept running in the corridor. Behind him, Marina Jongkiba was chasing with her claws. Dad, bastard, don't get caught by me. If I catch you, I'll make you look good. Don't run. Shoo. The corner of her clothes slapped her face, and Marina fluttered again. She puffed out her cheeks angrily, like a cute little tiger. Hee, idiot daughter, you can't catch me. I went to your mother to play Tilda. Yizan proudly held his head up, walked around the corner of the promenade and disappeared without a trace. With a light snort, he turned around and returned to the command room with a dang. Yo, Marina, I failed again. The slug lay lazily on the table. She was extremely lazy. The bag of chips was placed next to her. She didn't even bother to move, but grabbed it with her tentacles. Hold the fries high, and stuff them into your mouth. Click, click, click. The crisp sound was very special in the quiet command room, and the slug was eating fries lazily. Not far away, Yamanaka Inoichi is still sitting by the wall, wearing something like 3D glasses to keep an eye on the changes in the battlefield. On the other side, a huge ball, rippling from time to time. Only chakras above cage level can provoke ripples. However, generally speaking, when more than 10 elite Jonins perform ninjutsu at the same time, it will also cause a small ripple. Onoki and Gaara started fighting half a day ago. Yaeui and Namikaze Minato took turns in the command room. As for Terumi Mei, all arrows are fired. Snapped. A beautifully crafted card was thrown on the table by Tsunade. She raised her head proudly, and said very arrogantly, if you do not dodge, you will lose a drop of blood. Flash. Flawless. Flash. Hey, I didn't flash. Terumi Mei bit her lip pitifully, her beautiful big eyes full of stars, but Tsunade just glanced at Terumi Mei's general card and found that there was only a drop of blood on it. Blood without a flash. Terumi Mei, you're out of blood. Do you have a peach? No peach. Did someone save her? Tsunade glanced. Everyone shook their heads, and then Terumi Mei's identity card was flipped. Rebel. Haha, it really is a rebel. Kill the rebel and get 3 cards. My general card is Shimura Gen. Your hand cards and equipment cards are clubs. Give them all to me. Yo-ha-ho-ha-ho-ho equals. This game is won by the queen. Tsunade cocked her hips and laughed proudly. Before she could laugh for a few seconds, a familiar masculine breath came from behind her, and her ears were attacked. She was shocked and instantly softened. Little pervert, Tsunade whispered. Her ears are one of the most sensitive parts of her body. Every time she was attacked by Yizan, her whole body became weak and she couldn't exert herself at all. Hee. Yizan smirked, wrapped his arms around Tsunade's waist from behind, resting his head lightly on her shoulder. First install the ice sword, then change to Fang Tianhuaji, cross the river and demolish the bridge to remove Conan's Nawang shield, fill yourself with blood, iron chains, wine, and fire. Yizan's gang of Tsunade ran out of cards in one go, and used the characteristics of Fang Tianhuaji to directly kill Conan, Kushina and Makoto with wine and fire, and then cooperated with the chain link. Kill 3 people. Damn it, you rascal, you did it on purpose. Kushina, Conan, Makoto, 3 rebels, plus Terumi Mei's death. There are only 2 loyal ministers and 1 traitor left on the field. Kushina puffed up angrily, her eyes full of displeasure. Brother Zan, look at the cards without saying anything. Kunzi, you are too much. Makoto said gluttonously, his big black eyes full of resentment. Teacher, you help Sister Tsunade deal with me, you don't like me anymore. Conan followed suit, pouting slightly, looking very pitiful. Not only the 3 daughters, Terumi Mei also looked over. She was obviously knocked off by Tsunade's arrows, but turned her attention to Yizan. Big villain, it turns out that in your heart, the 4 of us are not as good as Tsunade. One person. Huh. The 4 girls aimed at themselves at the same time, which made Yizan instantly shy. Didn't he just use the second card for Tsunade? As for it. Do you want to listen to my explanation? Yizan asked cautiously, touching the back of his head, and then the 4 girls hummed at the same time. got up, and left the room grumbled. In the room, Yi-zan, who was still in a dazed state, hadn't reacted yet. A black shadow came over, thumped, and threw Yi-zan directly on the tatami. Brother Zan, they won't accompany you, I will accompany you. Anko happily held Yi-zan's cheek, lowered his head, and pursed Yi-zan's lips. Zizi, zizizi. When Anko kissed, he actually made a particularly exaggerated voice. That voice made Tsunade sigh speechlessly. Yuhi and Nohara Rin looked at each other and both saw the helplessness in each other's eyes. The end, it was Nohara Rin who was the most gentle. She walked over and gently pulled Anko's arm, and whispered, Anko, pay attention to your image. When Anko pounced on Yi-zan and kissed, the lazy slug suddenly stood up in the command room of the Ninja Alliance headquarters, and its small eyes were rarely rounded. Something happened. The sharp voice made Yamanaka Inoichi tremble all over. You must know that his spiritual consciousness at the moment is linked to the 3D glasses. This scream almost scared his soul out. Slug. Yamanaka Inoichi took off his glasses. His eyes were full of 0.2 resentment. Not far away, several perception ninjas who maintained the ball also trembled, almost unable to maintain the ball. The slugs screamed not only for them, because of the characteristics of her clone. When she screamed, all the clone slugs on the shoulders of the strong screamed at the same time. Anyway, the power generated at that moment was comparable to an atomic bomb explosion, which was interacting with Hanzo of the Salamander. The three ships, who were desperately fighting, were shaken, and were directly knocked off by Hanzo of the Salamander. Slug, what are you doing? Mifune said angrily. If it wasn't for his good movement, he would have died just now. I'm sorry, I didn't mean to. Slug also knew that she was wrong. She waved her tentacles lightly, and continued, but Uchiha Madara appeared. Chapter 476-Mighty Madara. Madara appeared, to be precise, in the fourth largest army area where Onoki and Gaara were located. He stood on a high rock, with his arms around him, his head held up slightly, his domineering aura shocked everything. Sure enough, it's Uchiha Madara. Onoki swallowed hard, and he recalled the past again in his mind. It was when he was young, the master second-generation Tsuchikage took him to Konoha, and Uchiha Madara defeated the second-generation Tsuchikage and the elite Jonin's self with an almost instant kill. Obviously they are all cage level, but Uchiha Madara actually defeated the second-generation Tsuchikage with one move. This is a scene he will never forget in his life, even now. What's wrong with that boy Nagato? Why am I in the state of impure world reincarnation? On the high rock, Madara's face was very indifferent. He turned to look at Yagura, and asked in an orderly manner, impure world reincarnation, who is the magician? 30 inches. I don't know. Facing Madara, even if it was from impure world reincarnation, and even if Yagura himself was in the state of impure world reincarnation, he still felt fear and answered Madara's question subconsciously. Then in the next second, he was shocked, as if no power had been injected into his body, and his breath had undergone a subtle change. I met Yakushi Kabuto for the first time, the caster of impure world reincarnation. Although it was Yagura's body, it made Kabuto's voice. He grinned lightly, with a snake-like breath in his eyes. Oh, talk to me through impure world reincarnation, rat, don't you even have the courage to appear in front of me? Madara glanced at Yagura contemptuously, or, you are afraid that when you appear in front of me, I will let you go kill. Hey. As expected of Uchiha Madara, he speaks so arrogantly, but it's useless for you to use aggressive tactics against me, and your impure world reincarnation was designed by me with all my hard work, surpassing your heyday. Beyond my heyday, rat, do you know the strength of my heyday? I don't know, but I've implanted the power of Senjuhashirama in your body, so don't you want to try, beyond the feeling of your heyday? Kabuto's words made Uchiha Madara stunned for a moment. He closed his eyes and took a closer look, and sure enough, he noticed the difference in his body. Powerful, more powerful chakra than he was in his heyday, strong body, and Mokuden wood style. So that's it. It seems that I underestimated you. As a reward for you, I will let you see and see. It belongs to the power of God. After Madara finished speaking, he suddenly jumped off the rock. He gently ran in the direction of the Ninja Alliance, 1 step, 2 steps, and then faster and faster, turned into a trot, turned into a dash. His aura alone suppressed the momentum of the more than 20,000 ninja army, and when he was about to approach the ninja army, one of the ninja finally couldn't help shouting, as if igniting a dynamite barrel, and the entire ninja army exploded. Everyone roared and rushed towards Uchiha Madara frantically. Boom! The two sides collided. In the first instant, dozens of ninjas were knocked away by the terrifying impact. They vomited blood, and the least injured were also smashed into the ribs. Madara rushing into the ninja army is like a tiger rushing into the sheep, screaming one after another, and countless ninjas are thrown high by the surging shock wave of chakra. In just a few minutes, more than 500 ninjas fell at his feet, and from the very beginning to now, Madara has only used the most common taijutsu attacks, not even the 3-body technique. Kaiden, fire style. Majestic destroyer flame, great fire annihilation. The fire erupted, the vastness was boundless, and the Kaiden fire style beyond the understanding of the ninja was turbulent and boiling like the ocean, and no ninja could resist it at all. Is this still a human? Gaara and Onoki were stunned at the rear of the ninja coalition. They were not on the same level at all. In their hearts, this was completely the gap between humans and gods. He must be stopped. Gaara shouted. Cage-level chakra surged out instantly, and the overwhelming sand rushed towards the flames. At the same time, Onoki slapped the ground with both hands, and the earth rose with a rumble. Soil wall. Boom, boom. The flame broke through the sand and destroyed the earth wall. Although it was weakened a lot, it was still unstoppable. Suiden, water style, ninja, work together. Suiden, water style, water formation wall. Over 20 Jonin used Suiden, water style, at the same time, and combined to form a huge wave. Boom boom boom. The waves and the flames collided, and the water vapor lingered in the sky. In the end, the waves finally extinguished the flames, and they continued to advance for several dozen meters and then slowly fell into the desert. Too strong. Super powerful Kaiden, fire style. All the ninjas look at Uchiha Madara with fear. You know, the Kaiden fire style just now. 2 cage levels and 20 Suiden's water style on their side. Jonin shot at the same time to resist. Yo, they can't hold on anymore. Baby, are you going to show it? On the edge of the battlefield, Yizan hid behind a 2-meter-high stone with Junai in his arms, and got the news of the slug. He directly used the technique of 153 Hiraishin to bring Marina with him. As expected of Uchiha Madara, a random A-grade Kaiden, fire style, the power generated is almost close to S level. Dad, that person is amazing. A Kaiden fire style actually forced Kazekage Tsuchikage and 20 Jonin to resist. Am I really going to show? Marina said weakly, but her eyes flashed with excitement. She wanted to appear for a long time, but Uchiha Madara's strength did cause her some concerns. Hey, don't worry, without me, Uchiha Madara's strength is enough to crush everything, but, in my father's eyes, Uchiha Madara is not enough, so you can do it. My father is hiding here to watch the battle. Come on, Tilda. Cut. Stinky dad, obviously just want to be lazy. Sheena wrinkled Xiaochang's nose and glared at Yizan, then raised her head, looked at Yizan eagerly, and pouted slightly. Reward me first. Ha! With a kiss, Marina was finally happy. She jumped out of Yizan's arms and rushed to the battlefield happily. Bah, Uchiha Madara, this girl is here, stop hurting my ninja army. Chapter 477 Marina jumped out and pretended again. The wind is blowing. The yellow sand dipped on the hair with the wind, and the gray fluffy was a little ugly. There was no sound in the quiet battlefield, and everyone looked at Marina, including Uchiha Madara, stupidly. Yuhi-colored hair, probably from the Uzumaki family, tender face, teenage, but Mere Jonin, is it too arrogant? Looking at Marina not far away, Uchiha Madara thinks that the world has changed. Why would a young girl with the strength of Jonin dare to act wild in front of her? Who are you? Uchiha Madara asked. He felt that even if he made a move, he had to know the name of this little girl. It was the first time he had met such a courageous girl. This girl's name is Shimura Marina, the leader of the Ninja Alliance. Marina raised her head proudly, looking at Uchiha Madara with disdain. Well, disdain. In Marina's mind, men who can't beat their own father are hot chickens. And she has just learned that although Uchiha Madara is very strong, her father doesn't even bother to shoot. Uchiha Madara was extremely shocked by Marina's disdain. He was not shocked, but shocked that this girl actually looked down on herself. Little girl, do you know who I am? I know, Uchiha Madara tilde. Then do you know who I used to be? I know, one of the founders of Konoha, one of the most powerful ninjas in the world. Is there anything else to add? Marina tilted her head blankly, obviously not understanding what the other party meant. Her dumb and cute appearance made Uchiha Madara completely speechless, and her speechlessness was mixed with stronger curiosity. Actually, I just wanted to ask, why do you look down on me? Oh, because you're a spicy chicken. Spicy chicken. Uchiha Madara was stunned for a moment, and then his entire face darkened. He was scolded. I was scolded by a little girl with the strength of Jonin. He stared at the truth knife fiercely, and the terrifying momentum erupted like a volcano. Little girl, since you are so arrogant, then I will show you what kind of strength the person you despise has. Susanoo. The blue chakra skeleton appeared, and instantly soared dozens of meters high, with meridians, flesh and blood, armor, and 4 arms on both sides. Complete body Susanoo. Drink. Uchiha Madara gave a light drink, and 4 chakra lightsabers appeared in Susanoo's 4 hands, and the lightsabers slashed suddenly, carrying the power of thunder, and slashed at Marina. The power of a sword can even cut off the top of a hill. Facing Susanoo's despairing power, Marina just raised her arm calmly, revealing the ninja tools in her sleeves. Bu tilde bu tilde bu tilde bu. 4 small balls flew out, 2 of which were crystal clear, and 2 of them screamed and made a loud noise. Boom! The ball hit the lightsaber, and an earth-shattering noise erupted. The 5,000-meter desert vibrated wildly. The ninjas standing on the desert fell to and fro, and in the center of the explosion, endless hurricanes and thunders lingered, forming a huge 300-meter-long giant range, wrapping the entire Susanoo. Click. Sound. Uchiha Madara was shocked to find that his Susanoo had actually split open. What the hell? He widened his eyes and immediately filled the gap with chakra, but the power generated by the mixed explosion of the 4S rank ninjutsu had already surpassed the situation of 1 + 1 + 1 + 1 = 4, and directly turned the power by a few times. Click, click. The strong wind and thunder formed a huge magnetic field that kept stirring. In the center, Susanoo kept breaking, and with the cracks getting faster and faster, Madara was shocked to find that her chakra was too late to fill. It's so strong. The ultimate attack that perfectly combines nature transformation and form transformation, and there are 4. Now, in this ninja world, there are actually such powerful people. Right, that girl just said her name is Shimura Marina. Shimura. Is it Shimura-zan's daughter? Uchiha Madara's pupils shrank. During the Third Ninja War, he and Ju's plan was destroyed by Shimura-zan. Originally, he wanted to use Nohara Rin's death to stimulate the darkness in Obito's heart, but he was destroyed by Shimura-zan. It's a pity that his lifespan has reached the limit, in the end, only leaves everything to Black Zetsu. But at this moment, it is not time for Uchiha Madara to continue thinking. Seeing that Susanoo begins to shatter, he finally swells chakra, and the eternal Mangekyo Sharingan in his pupils swirls violently, and gradually, Rinnegan is formed. Shinra Tensei Almighty Push sign. Boom! The terrifying shock wave shook the sky with a dull sound, and the huge wind and thunder spiral field collapsed in an instant. After a while, the sky became clear and bright, and the wind in the distance was blowing in the desert. Battlefield fell silent again, and everyone noticed the changes in Uchiha Madara's eyes, which looked very strange. Rinnegan. How does he have a Rinnegan? Not far behind Marina, Onoki swallowed again. Rinnegan is the eyes of the Six Paths Fairy. Uchiha Madara, who was originally invincible, actually has a Rinnegan. How can this be fought? The deadly battlefield, the stunned ninjas, and Marina, although a little surprised at the moment, but not too shocked. After all, my father has said before, Uchiha Madara's strength is enough to crush the entire ninja world, but in front of my father, everything is a cloud. Fun, it's fun. Who turned on Rinnegan stared at Marina and kept saying interesting things in his mouth. Then, his hands suddenly came together. On him, Susanoo, who was dozens of meters high, actually followed his movements and started hand seal. After the hand seal, nothing happened, but Onoki and Gaara felt a crisis of death. This was the sixth sense of a cage-level powerhouse. They looked around nervously, but couldn't find the source of the crisis. But the next moment, it was dark. The sky trembled, as if it was about to collapse. Under the cloudy sky, more than 20,000 ninjas stared blankly at the sky, looking at the boundless darkness, completely collapsed. A lie. Am I dreaming? Is this something a ninja can do? Not only them, but even Onoki and Gaara, had despair in their eyes. It's so big, at least 10,000 meters in diameter, right? If you hit it like this, it looks like everyone will die, right? Dad, what should I do? Marina quietly glanced at Yizan, who was hiding behind the stones on the edge of the battlefield, and Yizan pointed to the sky. The tacit understanding between the two made Marina quickly understand. Do you want me to lift my finger and point to the meteorite? Marina slowly raised her finger, because everyone was frightened by the meteorite, and in the entire battlefield, only Uchiha Madara saw Marina's movements. Why did she raise her finger? Uchiha Madara blinked his eyes in confusion, but he didn't know that at this moment, behind the stones on the edge of the battlefield, an illusory golden light flew into the sky, completely covering the two meteorites. Meteorite, give me face, smash. Chapter 478 It made Madara stunned. The dust was falling like rain, crashing into the world. Black, gray, dirty, all the words that can describe it are very appropriate for the ninja army. Shatter, really shatter, not explode, nor shatter. Two super meteorites with a diameter of nearly 10,000 meters were shaken into powder by the power of the fruit. So much powder fell, it was a bit like Gaara's sand, but it was gray-black, and it fell on Marina's head, her beautiful Yuhi-colored long hair turning gray. Shish. Genai shook her head fiercely, and the drum shook the chakra several times to shake the dust on her body and head. She quietly glanced at Yizan, and Yizan gave a thumbs up and smiled brightly. A row of large white fangs gleamed in the sunlight. Don't learn the green monster's movements, Dad. It's stupid. Shinai complained silently, while Yizan staggered a few times behind the stone, looking very happy. It's stupid, you won't dislike me anyway, hee hee. Bah, I hate you to death. The two exchanged glances several kilometers apart. Here, Uchiha Madara finally recovered from the shock. He exhaled softly and looked at Marina with a very solemn gaze. Just now, he saw Marina raise her finger to point to the meteorite, and the meteorite shattered, not an explosion, but as if it had been wiped out, turning into dust and sand. A huge amount of dust fell, turning his tens of meters of Susanoo into gray. He shook the chakra lightly, sending the thick dust flying. Shimura Marina, what kind of ninjutsu did you just use? This is the first time that Uchiha Madara's tone has changed since Impure World reincarnation. Destroying the meteorite is so awesome that he can't even see the attack trajectory, it's just too terrifying. I don't know this, you are so stupid. The ninjutsu I used just now is. Truth paused for a while, and smiled proudly under the extremely curious eyes of Uchiha Madara and more than 20,000 ninjas. Hee hee, I won't tell you. Marina teased Uchiha Madara proudly, but Uchiha Madara was not angry. He just looked at Marina silently, his hands slowly clasped together. Destroy my art, you have arrogant capital, but then, my art will not be so easy to solve. The terrifying chakra kept surging, Uchiha Madara's eyes widened, and with a light drink, the ground shattered. Mokuden, wood style, world of trees wall, quote. Boom. Endless trees rose from the ground, faster and bigger, almost instantly turning into a forest, a behemoth. Hey, Dad, what about this? The terrifying world of trees wall seemed to devour everything. Marina glanced at Yizan again, and Yizan pointed forward with her finger. Do you want me to use my finger to point forward? Dad, how are you? But, I like it tilde. Marina raised her finger with a smile, just like destroying the meteorite just now. She pointed her finger forward, pointed at stormy forest. At the same time, an illusory golden light flew out from behind the stones on the edge of the battlefield, and instantly enveloped the forest. Forest, give me face and turn to attack Uchiha Madara. Because the forest is not a natural element, this time, Yizan directly used the third order ability of the face fruit to control the material. That moment, Uchiha Madara was shocked to find that the world of trees wall he controlled was completely out of control, and his chakra was clearly connected to the forest, but when these huge trees grew, he forcibly got rid of his chakra control and turned upside down, crazy attacked himself. What the hell? Uchiha Madara finally couldn't help but utter a foul language. Before he could revoke the ninjutsu, the forest madly flooded Susanoo and his area. The giant tree was entangled, entangling Susanoo dozens of meters high and unable to move, and there were thousands of rattan sticks in the middle to tie Yagura on the side. The most powerful part of World of Trees wall is chakra absorption. At that moment, Yagura's chakra was absorbed like crazy, and the World of Trees wall became more and more lush. Madara, quickly revoke ninjutsu, Yagura shouted, knowing that at this moment, Kabuto is controlling Yagura, the chakra is absorbed, and Kabuto's consciousness can hardly be attached to Yagura. I've cancelled ninjutsu, but I don't know what's going on. Why is the World of Trees wall attacking me? Shinra Tensei, almighty push, sign. Boom. Shattered the trees wrapped around Susanoo. Susanoo roared, and lightsabers emerged from the forearms again, slashing towards the forest at the same time. Boom, 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 boom. Four loud noises, the earth shook, and the huge forest was cut into 4 parts by Susanoo, but at this moment, Susanoo did not stop attacking, but continued to wield the lightsaber, cutting the mess with a quick knife. Cut the forest into pieces. Without chakra to continue to maintain, the World of Trees wall finally disappeared. After all, Yizan's order only let the forest attack Uchiha Madara, and did not provide additional energy to the forest. The entire battlefield fell silent again, Susanoo stopped attacking, and Madara stood there dumbfounded. The World of Trees wall disappeared, and more than 20,000 ninjas stared at the front, looking at the back of the Yuhi-colored long-haired person in front of him, which was extremely sublime and worshipped. No wonder even our Lord Hokage dare not compete with Lord Marina for the leader of the coalition army. She is really too strong. So young, but the strength has reached an unfathomable level. Our ninja coalition is saved. Come on, Marina-sama. Come on, boss. Come on, boss. The allied ninja army shouted excitedly. The resonance formed by the fusion of the voices of more than 20,000 people broke through the sky. At the front of the ninja army, Marina proudly raised her head and enjoyed the feeling of admiration. Seeing Jena's proud appearance, Yizan, who was hiding behind the stones on the edge of the battlefield, pouted his lips speechlessly, and when he found that Jena was looking over, he deliberately pouted deeper. Fox fake tiger mighty little idiot. Humph. What's the matter with foxes and tigers? Smelly dad, don't come out and disrupt the situation. Yizan and Marina pretended to be on the battlefield of the 4th Army, and on the other side, Uzumaki Nagato joined Obito. The two of them took a group of Impure World Reincarnation, Jinchuriki column force towards the headquarters of the Ninja Alliance. They were going to wipe out the rest of the Jinchuriki column force and use the fastest speed to capture the tailed beast before Yizan could react. Chapter 479 _ You go, I'll stay home. The battlefield of the ninja world is in full swing, and in the forest on the southeastern border of the country of fire, two black shadows are running fast. Is it there yet? It should be near here, Itachi said in a condensed voice. Yuhi's Sharingan kept scanning around. Suddenly, he stopped on a huge tree. I found it. His eyes were fixed on a cave a few hundred meters away on the right. The cave was deep and exuded faint chakra fluctuations. Brother, are you going in? Sasuke silently held the hilt of the grass pheasant sword and took a step forward, only to be pulled by Itachi. I'll go ahead, Itachi said with a serious face. Although Sasuke's strength has also been promoted to Kage level, Sasuke is still too young. Compared with himself, Sasuke is always a little bit worse. And there's Brokan, everyone knows that. For Itachi, Sasuke's life is more important than everything else. The two were one after the other, just stepped into the cave. A cold laughter sounded from the depths of the cave. Sasuke and Itachi looked at each other, then looked forward. Their faces became more and more vigilant. Yakushi Kabuto, is it really you? Sasuke said in a condensed voice. After all, he has been with Kabuto for 3 years in Yinyan village, and he is relatively familiar with Kabuto. Hey, Sasuke-kun, don't be so nervous. Anyway, we have also lived together under the master of Orochimaru for 3 years. Yo, and brought Itachi, you completely ignore the original friendship. Yakushi Kabuto Yin the test smiled, but Sasuke and Itachi didn't dare to relax at all because of their powerful aura. Kabuto looks very weird now, with horns on his head, scales on his face and neck. His dog Kiba has also become a lot. The purple eyeshadow is thin and long, and the weirdest thing is, he has a lot on his stomach. A tail appeared, and the end of the tail was actually a snake head. While he was talking, his tail kept sweeping across the ground, as if he didn't realize that his current habit was like a snake, which had completely lost its humanity. Kabuto in Sage mode is very strong, but Sasuke and Itachi are both Kage-level powerhouses, and both are powerhouses who have turned on Mangekyo Sharingan. Even if Kabuto's momentum is stronger than them, the pride of the Uchiha family makes them not afraid. Sasuke, stop talking nonsense with him. The Ninja Alliance is fighting against Impure World Reincarnation. We have to hurry up. Itachi finished, quickly took out a dozen kunai from the ninja bag, and threw them at Kabuto like a rain of flowers. Shish! Kunai collided in the air, and the front handles changed their trajectories, enveloping Kabuto in an encirclement situation. Kabuto just chuckled, and his tail on the ground swept away suddenly. Boom! With just one blow, the kunai were all broken. Kabuto sneered, hands sealed with both hands, and slammed the ground. Spirituality. The formation of 10,000 snakes. The blue psychic formation spread, and in an instant, densely packed poisonous snakes appeared in the psychic formation. Taking advantage of the gap between Sasuke and Itachi being blocked by a large number of poisonous snakes, Kabuto sneered and licked the corner of his mouth, finally using his true power. Senpo, Sage Art. The Art of White Shock. Sasuke and Itachi and Kabuto were fighting fiercely. Nagato and Obito on the other side came to the headquarters of the Ninja Alliance with several people from Impure World Reincarnation, Jinchuriki column. The moment Nagato appeared, it was discovered by the perceptive ninjas in the headquarters. In an instant, Tsunade, Terumi Mei, Kushina, Nohara Rin, Irie, Yayoi, Naruto, Killer Bee, and dozens of elite Jonin rushed out. Bye, you and Kyubi, Nine Tails, go back. And Miss Kushina and Miss Rin Nohara, please go back. Yayoi's face was solemn. The other party's purpose was to make Jinchuriki column power. If you were like this Fang's man, Jinchuriki column force was caught and it was all over. It doesn't matter, I can control the tailed beast perfectly, and the strength is not as weak as you think. It's Rin, you go back. Ellie, you go back too. Kushina patted Rin on the shoulder, and then glared at Ellie. Ellie, this idiot, what is the strength of the elite Jonin to participate in? the other party is a supermaster in cage level. Even ordinary cage level is difficult to survive in this battle. Kushina's words made Rin hesitate for a moment, and finally nodded. She knew her own strength. She didn't have the power of the tailed beast, but it was Jonan's level. She stepped back. Although Ellie was dissatisfied, she was obedient and pouted, as if she was whispering something. I have my father's ninja gear, she muttered, but no one paid her any attention, and was quickly pulled back to the headquarters by Rin Nohara. When Nagato appeared, the slug notified Yizan on the battlefield with his clone at the same time. Yizan was slightly taken aback, but he didn't expect that the opponent actually used the tactic of splitting his troops in two ways. No way. Nagato and Obito actually attacked the coalition headquarters. Are they so smart? Yizan exaggeratedly widened his eyes, and his tone was filled with indescribable surprise. Stupid Xiaoshuan, how clever is this? Anyone can figure it out. If you don't go back, go back. The slug jumped on Yizan's shoulder anxiously. Rinnegan is not scary, but Rinnegan that has absorbed a few tailed beasts is scary. You must know that at this moment Geto Mazo, demonic statue of the outer path, has absorbed 5 tailed beasts, and the chakra contained in each tailed beast exceeds cage level countless times. He can use the power of Geto Mazo, demonic statue of the outer path, in his body for a short period of time, and burst out with earth-shattering combat power. Not only that, because there are several former Impure World Reincarnation Jinchuriki column forces around, Nagato can use the black stick of Geto Mazo, demonic statue of the outer path, to connect several people with Jinchuriki column force and let them explode tailed beast's complete body. The matter was very urgent, but Yizan sat quietly behind the stone. Many years ago, he set up a defensive sealing technique on his woman. Once in crisis, the sealing technique would be activated. After becoming a 6 paths powerhouse, Yizan improved the defensive sealing technique. Push sign can be prevented. Moreover, the coalition headquarters also hides several strong men. Once the shot is taken, it is really uncertain who will win and who will lose. Yizan's so-called powerhouses are standing by the window on the second floor of the headquarters at the moment. They silently looked at Nagato and Obito in the distance. They were silent for a long time, and one of them sighed softly. Master Jiraiya can't bear to shoot. Yeah, after all 3 years of teaching, I always thought that Nagato would become the person who changed the world. Hey. Forget it, we should go down. If the stinky boy knew that I was lazy, he would not tear it up when he came back. My skin. Jiraiya shook her head with a wry smile, and rushed out first. In the same place, Anbu, who was wearing a cat face mask, turned to look at the other person. Kakuzu-sama, aren't you going? No, my 5-attribute ability seems to be powerful, but in fact each heart can only exert the strength of the elite Jonin to the quasi-shadow, this level of battle. Hey, Shisui, you go, I will guard the home. Chapter 480 Impure World Reincarnation released. Kakuzu actually confessed. Well, let's not laugh at him, let's turn the camera to the desert battlefield of the 4th unit. Since the defensive sealing technique that Yizan set on the girls did not trigger, Yizan remained in the desert battlefield with peace of mind. Marina, I'm going to appear tilde. Humph. Don't appear. Today's halo is mine. You appear, they must think you are quietly helping me. But I was quietly helping you tilde. I hate it. I'm not allowed to appear. It's hard to enjoy the sensation of being in the spotlight. Stinky Dad hates it to death. She pursed her mouth angrily, her cheeks rounded, and looking at her cute appearance, Yizan rubbed his head with a smile, and finally retracted behind the stone. At this moment, Uchiha Madara's emotions have calmed down. What storms and waves haven't he seen when he was alive? Although Marina's performance shocked him, it was still slightly worse than Senju Hashirama back then. Well, it's mainly the sense of the picture. Marina just raises her fingers out of thin air without making a sound, and Senju Hashirama's art is casually a wooden dragon or a wooden man with a length of tens of meters, and even the more exaggerated Senju magical powers. And Uchiha Madara wanted to say something, but in the end he closed his mouth and didn't say anything. He looked at Marina silently. Since Mokuden, wood style, and meteorite skyfall were ineffective, he could only use physical techniques. He didn't believe that a teenage boy-girl, how strong are you in physique? Boom, boom, boom. The earth shook, the yellow sand flew, and Uchiha Madara finally treated Junai as an equal enemy. He hurried to Junai, stepping on the ground and roaring with each step, and with each step, his aura increased by 1 point. Susanoo was on fire, and a lightsaber condensed in his hand again. He jumped up abruptly and jumped several hundred meters into the air. At this moment, his aura finally reached its peak. However, at this moment, a dazzling white light lit up from inside his body, countless debris of impure world reincarnation scattered. Madara's eyes widened in shock, and her body fell from the air uncontrollably. Bang! Susanoo smashed the ground into a depression more than 10 meters deep, and the armor, lightsaber, flesh, and bones slowly dissipated. Not only him, but in several battlefields, all the impure world reincarnations shone dazzlingly. Impure world reincarnation fell to the ground one by one, and their bodies began to weather. In the end, there was only one white who was a Matsuri product. Zetsu body. What happened? Onoki asked quietly. I don't know, but looking at the situation, it seems to be in our favor. Gaara replied softly. Uchiha Madara put too much pressure on him, and it would be a good thing if the other party just disappeared like this. Madara, whose body was constantly glowing, raised her hand silently, looked at the scraps of paper floating around her arm, and pouted in disdain. Che, is there really a problem? He said, looking at the more than 20,000 ninjas behind Marina and Marina. You are lucky, impure world reincarnation is lifted. Removed. Madara's words shocked everyone, and with it came a strong joy. The impure world reincarnation was lifted so quickly. Shimura-zan is indeed the smartest person in the ninja world. His plan was successful. It's not so much Shimura-gen's plan, but Uchiha Itachi and Uchiha Sasuke are very capable. Impure world reincarnation was lifted, and the victory of the Ninja Alliance was only a matter of time. Onoki and Gaara were happily arguing, but in the distance, Uchiha Madara looked at everyone indifferently, and slowly raised his arm. I said, are you too happy? The technique developed by Tobirama. You think I can't break it? What? Onoki's happy face instantly stiffened, and a bad premonition suddenly appeared in his heart. What do you mean? It seems that you don't understand impure world reincarnation at all. Let me tell you, although impure world reincarnation is a very powerful forbidden technique, this technique also has risks. The risk is that if the summoned person is stronger than the caster, much stronger, and happens to know the seal of impure world reincarnation, then... Madara sneered, her hands snapped together. Impure world reincarnation. Solution. A dark blue chakra emerged from Madara's body, instantly extinguishing the white light, and the swirling debris gathered together again, and the body recovered perfectly. The sudden change of Uchiha Madara made the mood of the ninja coalition sink to the bottom again, and at the same time, Yi-zan finally sighed and slowly walked out from behind the stone. Master Zan. The sharp-eyed Konoha ninja was the first to spot Yi-zan, and he shouted loudly, immediately attracting everyone's attention. Master Zan. Shimura-gen. Shimura-gen is finally here. The ninja coalition whispered. The moment Yi-zan appeared, all the worries in their hearts vanished. They didn't even know Yi-zan's specific strength, and whether Yi-zan could defeat Uchiha Madara, but the moment Yi-zan appeared, it feels like the war has been won. Dad, why did you come out? The ninjas were delighted, but Marina couldn't be happy, especially after finding out that the ninjas had looked at Yi-zan with adoration and trust. Marina pouted angrily. Oops, sorry my darling, impure world reincarnation has infinite chakra and won't die 1.0, I can't help you defeat Uchiha Madara by hiding. Yi-zan gently rubbed Marina's hair. Marina snorted softly, muttered something in a low voice, and finally leaned her head on Yi-zan's arms obediently. Although I am still a little dissatisfied, since he is my favorite dad, I will forgive him for the time being, but you have to make up for me. Okay, my little baby, you can make up for whatever you want, Tilda. Yizan patted Marina's head dotingly, and kissed Marina on the forehead. Then, Marina happily hugged Yizan's neck, ignoring the eyes of more than 20,000 people, and hung on it like a koala. On Yizan. Result, Uchiha Madara was depressed. Shimura-zan, you look down on me numbly.